looking at me funny. They're like, dude, you
Yeah.
don't understand what you're doing. And now I was young, dude.
Yeah, you have some coworkers who still holding? You have some coworkers who are still holding?
My God, there's one coworker who has so much testosterone, like we can't get a hold of him. He's in the middle of Argentina or something. Like he never has to work again. Like,
that's crazy.
And I would be in the same scenario if I wasn't.
Oh, man.
But I was young, right? That's why part of the reason I'm going back to school.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Whole Lotta Podcast. This is your host, Ebenezer Ojo.
Hope out of bio.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love you. Hope, this is a very special pod, guys.
For this for weeks,
we've been talking about having guests on this pod for so long. Not to downplay my brother and his sister. You guys are great guests. Our first.
I was gonna say I've seen people on the podcast.
yeah. You guys are great. But we have a very special guest today. We're trying to do more of a series where we're getting more people to come on the pod, getting more people to talk on the pod. A lot of the times just me and Hope just bullshitting for a little bit. But now we're trying to get more people into the pod. This is our first actual interview that we're doing. So I'm super excited for this. Hope, you want to give a good intro for your mans right now?
So this is Weldon.
Weldon.
We met St. Thomas. A football friend of mine had a class with you, and he was like, "Bro, you need to talk to this guy."
Wow.
And there was just something I was like, "Man, if I don't talk to this guy, bro, I'm gonna lose money." so tell us more about you.
Man, we're here. First of all, congrats, y'all. This is incredible, man.
Thank you, man.
Right? A lot of people say they dream of making a podcast. Right? I know guys who've been talking about making a pod for years. The fact that y'all do it and you do it consistently, right?
Yep.
That's amazing.
We try.
Hey, it's still going. What is this? A year?
Yeah. It's 2 years.
Two years.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
We're growing. Yeah.
So my name is Weldon. Some call me actually Weldon. I like the name, man. The name it's
a good name.
I appreciate that.
It's a solid name.
Hope we met St. Thomas. What now? A year and a half ago?
A year and a half around this time. Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
And I just came back to St. Thomas. I left for a little while. Right, Ebenezer doesn't know this story, but I grew up in Minnesota, right? So grew up in Bloomington, right down the street.
Were you born here?
Born in Kenya.
Kenya, okay.
That's right. That's right. And then grew up in Bloomington, and then St. Thomas. So
when did your family move here?
05.
05. Oh wow.
Well, that's around your family.
We moved 2002.
Yeah.
Is when we came.
From?
Yeah. Nigeria.
Incredible.
Yeah.
My parents moved 2008, 7.
Oh, 2008. Yeah.
We're here now.
Immigrants, you taking over.
Hey, this
Shout out
is
to immigrants.
This is a product of immigration.
No, for real.
Yeah.
Right here.
So y'all moved to where? Bloomington, you said?
Bloomington.
Okay.
Then St. Paul.
And
then I've been in Minneapolis for the last little while. But,
wow.
No, I left St. Thomas for a few years because when I started there, I was a freshman, and the only thing I cared about at the time was Tesla. He knows this part.
Yes.
Dude, the only thing I care about right now is Tesla.
Seriously. Tesla stock.
This was pre-COVID, so this is like 2017, 2018.
Before
when I
they even really blew up for real.
Exactly, before the Model 3. And then I got offered a gig there. And I was at school at the same time, so trying to do full-time school and full-time Tesla.
Wow. Wait, where were you at this point? High school?
No, college.
College.
Yeah, and I'm a freshman at St. Thomas.
Freshman at St. Thomas, wow.
Yeah, and then I get offered a gig there.
Wow. Full-time gig or internship?
Full-time gig.
Wow.
So I was full-time.
Playing, bro.
Yeah, I told them I was wrapping up school, so.
Wow.
Meanwhile, I'm living in a dorm.
Yeah. Wow.
No,
and you were a freshman?
Yeah, I learned this later on, but I was like the 6th youngest hire at Tesla.
Oh my God.
Which is kind of crazy.
Wow.
Like, so
that's
we're
nuts.
top 10 for something.
Oh yeah, literally.
Always, bro. That's always.
So when you were doing that, were you working remote, or how did that work?
Tesla had been in Minnesota for a few years up until that point.
Oh,
right?
really?
Maplewood area or no?
Eden Prairie.
Eden Prairie, okay.
Yeah, so they wanted to be close to United, right?
United, okay.
And all those other companies there, but no, but Tesla's one company, right? It's not like Ford and then they have dealerships and they manufacture. Exactly. It's all separate. It's all vertically integrated. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, my team and I were on calls with Elon like every month.
Whoa.
That type of time.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's that invested into like even the Little Minnesota's company.
Little Minnesota.
Wow.
Hold on. Hey, you gotta dispel this notion. Why are you calling Minnesota little?
Bro, from what I see, I feel like to the rest of the country, it's just like, oh, you're in Minnesota? Like, okay, who cares? I feel like more recently Minnesota's been more in the news, not for the best reasons, but like we're now being more known. I feel like before it's like, oh, don't you know, you're living next to Canada or something like that, but nobody really like puts Minnesota on the map like that.
I used to feel the same way.
Yeah.
And I traveled around the country, lived in Miami, lived in Cali, Vegas, all of that, right? And I concluded, dude, Minnesota is slept on.
Come on.
And everybody who knows, like people will speak on this, and like Hope see me speak on this like frequently now. Like Minnesota is, it's hidden.
It's
right,
hidden.
but there's a lot of people don't know. And
it's really a hidden gem. Like my mom always says, East or West, home is the best. I've literally gone to some places and I'm like, oh, this is really nice. Like, like even when I went to Hawaii, I went on my very first solo trip to Hawaii in February.
As you should.
And it was such a great. I love Hawaii. Right?
Hard to leave.
But when I came back to Minnesota, I just love how you can really have a little bit of the suburb slice.
Yep.
You can have a little bit of the city slice.
Yep.
And it's just like there's not too much going on here. There's not, and I love that. Like it's calm, it's chill, predictable.
All of it.
Predictable. We love a predictable lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's why I like Minnesota. It's just it's quaint.
Weldon has always stated, and I believe this is he could move to San Francisco and he would thrive.
Yeah.
He chooses to stay in Minnesota.
Yeah.
There's something in Minnesota that he thinks
there's untapped. There's so much untapped potential here.
Well, once you start digging, then you're like, hold on a second, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
And I would say Minnesota is like one large company, right? It's like, you know, you go to New York and it's like, you can very much tell this is one neighborhood, this is another neighborhood, right? You go to Chicago and it's like, you go one street over, it's entirely different, right?
Yeah.
People don't know this. Minnesota has if you look at like state GDP, has a higher GDP than all of Illinois.
No
That's like
way.
all of Chicago.
They got Chicago, exactly.
Yeah,
Nobody knows Illinois besides Chicago.
Exactly. No, like if you looked at Minnesota as a company, Minnesota could buy, like if you added up the GDP of all the companies, could buy Chicago for lunch.
That's crazy.
Right? Like,
that's actually crazy to me.
And this has started from like me investigating all the companies that are here. Right. It's only now like United's been in the news.
Wow.
United's number 5 on the Fortune 500.
Wow. United is here. Their headquarters is in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
For real?
No, I
blows my mind.
Dude, I knew 3M. I knew what's it called, Ecolab, Land O'Lakes, but I didn't know Medtronic. Yeah. I didn't know United Airlines was here. That's crazy.
No, United Health.
Healthcare.
Oh, healthcare. Yes, healthcare.
So it's interesting that you listed all those companies before it, right? You know why that is?
Why?
Because the first one you listed, 3M.
3M, yes.
You're a data guy, right?
Yep.
3M does about $30 to $40 billion a year revenue.
Wow.
United could buy 3M for lunch.
Really?
Like United does just a little bit less revenue than, actually no, last year they did a little more revenue than Apple.
Wow.
United did like 480 billion last year.
Wow.
Right? And Apple did 470. 400,
what?
Like it's neck and neck.
They got me, bro.
No, but that blows my mind because it's
I'm a customer.
Yeah.
Literally.
Can you imagine being like down the street from Apple and not knowing they're right there?
Yeah.
Right? Like
that's so
you probably
true.
have aunties and uncles and everybody who works there. You
don't even know.
Exactly.
Damn.
Yeah.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. We got to keep to that timeline. We got to stick to that time. So freshman year.
When you went to Tesla, how much work did you do and did you ever sleep?
What was the work-life balance?
80 hours a week.
There's no such thing as work-life balance.
80 hours a week. I was there every single day.
Oh my God.
It was like, okay. Like,
and were you going to the office?
Yeah.
How were you doing classes?
Exactly. And you wouldn't believe it, I was an engineering student at the time.
Engineering?
Yeah.
Me and you
What?
both, bro.
Jim, we didn't sleep. But here's the thing. For me, it's like work is easy.
Yeah.
You know why? Like I grew up running. I grew up running 100 miles a week.
Wow.
I was like being an athlete and then going to like from being an athlete, having that regiment, like
bro, the stereotype is true.
Working.
Yo.
I'm like, wait, what you want me to do? I'm like, wait, you want me to talk to people all day? You want me to sit on my computer? This is light. This is
wow. Okay.
Right? And I remember the parts I remember from home, like back Kenya. It's like I remember walking to school and that being like, you know,
how old were you when you came here
miles.
again?
I was 6, 7.
6'7".
I just got out to that, man. Don't do that. Don't do that, man.
But wait, so you were 6 when you came here. So you got to tell me right now. I got to ask this question. What's your mile time?
What's my mile time?
At your peak performance.
Sure.
What was your mile time?
420 something.
Oh
like
my
under 430.
God! That's
Ebenezer used to
ridiculous.
For real?
I used to learn.
5Ks?
Yes, I did from middle school, from middle school to high school, and I think I stopped doing it my sophomore year, I did cross country in the fall. I did diving in the winter.
Incredible.
I was in diving team. I was state champ.
Let's go.
Thank you. I'm always gonna flex that. Like even if I'm 56, I'm always gonna flex that. And then I did in the spring I did track and field, long distance.
Amazing.
So at my peak.
Sure.
At my peak.
Sure.
5K.
Sure.
No, not even, bro. Let's start with mile. My fastest mile I ever ran, I don't even think, I think it was like right below, I think it was like 550. That was my fastest mile.
That's incredible. And
I think I was probably like a sophomore in high school at that time.
Sure.
My fastest 5K was like, oh man. My fastest 5K I think was like a 21.
Sure.
I think that's my fastest 5K I ever ran. And that was state. And that was when it was, you understand, sleeting, snow, you're running in puddles.
All of it.
Oh, okay, so your largest mile, your fastest mile was 5.
Under 430.
420.
Don't say 5.
I just can't process it. 420.
Bro.
And then your fastest 5K.
16 minutes something.
Oh my, that's my 2 mile.
Yeah.
That's my 2 mile. And that's a 2 mile where I'm dead at the end. Like I can't even move.
No, I was on the longer, more endurance sports, right?
Really?
I'm glad you mentioned some of the sports. And this is interesting about Minnesota brothers.
Yeah.
Because I also was a swimmer, right?
Really?
Yeah, I was 100 free, right? I did that for a few years, and then I switched over. My buddy who I ran with, like cross country and all the other, and track and all that, he was a skier. And 1 year I lost the bet. He beat me in a race, so I had to join the ski team. So I also cross country skied.
Oh, that's so hard.
Right?
Cross country skiing is way harder than running.
Cross country skiing is the hardest sport.
Period.
And
I appreciate that because I always say swimming is the hardest sport. So coming from somebody who's actually swam and you're telling me that, I believe you.
No, swimming is hard.
Swimming
Don't
is
get me wrong. Swimming is very. Well, you can after a few years you can finally get the gist of it, right? Or you can go from like not swimming for a long time, get back to it, and you're back to it.
I don't think football is hard.
Because
football hurts. Football hurts.
Yes.
I don't think football is hard. I do think practices are brutal, and I think it's more attention to detail. But I don't think I could pretty much do a full practice, eyes closed, and I could probably still run 100 yards, get 100 yards. In a game.
Wow.
Love that. Look at this guy. Subtle flex. Subtle flex. He's like, hey, it's light.
Something comes natural to you, is just what it is.
But if you tell me to go run 50 meters in a swimming pool,
run 50 meters.
I don't. Isn't it meters?
It is meters. Yeah, I got you.
I'll cry.
Bro, it's swimming was so tough. Bro. So what school did you go to?
Bloomington Jefferson.
Bloomington Jefferson. Y'all was bougie. Because y'all colors was like light blue, right? That was like your color? I remember that.
Jaguars.
Yes, I remember y'all. So y'all did, so you did that throughout high school? You did swimming and cross country?
Yep, so I actually was even quarterback for, but that was when I was freshman, so I was a quarterback, on the JV team.
Yeah. Right? No, but still.
But then I switched over. I said, hey, I gotta.
For real, if you're that fast, like you can blitz.
Yeah, so I said I gotta switch over. So then I went to the endurance sports.
Oh wow!
Because I'd always been doing track.
Yeah.
So started doing cross country, and then in the winter it's like that gap, right?
But you guys had a big school. How many people on your cross country team?
Oh, quite a number.
I'm saying.
Pretty decent team.
Y'all was huge.
But I will say, I mean, it's actually mainly because of the location, right? Bloomington is incredible because I was gonna say Bloomington has that Highland Reserve and then the Minnesota River right at the bottom, so the trails are dense. Right?
There's so
everybody's
much.
athletic in Bloomington.
Wow.
Which makes a lot of sense. Actually, the buddy who I gotta give a shout out. The buddy who I did the winter cross country with. He's on the U.S. ski team now.
Whoa!
Like Olympics and everything.
That's crazy.
Zach Ketterson, right? Zach, you know who you are,
bro.
Right? Zach's
that's
killing
crazy.
it, right? But it just makes sense because the environment makes you who you are, right? And that's kind of relevant now.
It makes sense because if you got a lot of people around you running like a 5, a 430, you're gonna have to be somewhere in the middle. We had Simley, our men's cross country team. Our Simley's men's cross was 5 people.
You're kidding.
That's at the peak.
Yeah.
I have no idea what they have now. It was 5 people at the peak.
It's hard to be challenged when you're such a small.
And at that time, the fastest runner was probably running a mile in like and this is a cross country mile. Cross country mile is different from a track mile.
I like the
cross country mile. You're going uphill. So cross country mile, our fastest guy was probably running like maybe a 5:45 cross country mile. So like at that pace, you're not really rubbing shoulders with people. I feel like I was a really good diver because that generation of divers that I was going with were all really good. So I had to land in the middle somewhere. So iron sharpens iron in that way. I think that's why it was good you went to Jefferson.
So how did your transition from high school with running hundreds of miles allow you to be equipped to work alongside one of the greatest minds? No sucky.
This is mentor, guys. This is mentor.
Like Elon and Tesla and whatnot.
I will say it's what the main thing about doing the endurance sports is, unlike the other sports, like where I'd be running and watching the baseball guys standing around, and then occasionally they do the sport, right? It's like, hey, like I got to choose this every single day, right? And it's like it's gonna be painful. But what that did for me is it almost taught me obsession, right? Because the people who were good, it's simply because you clocked in more miles, right? Like there's a direct correlation. Hey, you run 100 miles a week, you're gonna be better than the guy who does 20 miles a week. Point blank. Facts.
So
then it just became a way of life. Like I'd be up in the middle of the night going for runs. I'd be up early in the morning, I'm going running, or I'm going swimming, right? Weekends, Zach and I would be like biking all the way from Bloomington all the way to downtown St. Paul, and then back. And then now we're back, let's go swim across the lake. Okay, and then in the afternoon, we're gonna go running. That'd be a day. That would be a day, right? So it's like, that's just a normal Saturday for us. We just biked 100 miles, we just swim, 10 miles.
I was doing a triathlon for fun. What the hell?
Bro, it's better to do it when you're a kid than to be macho doing Ironman.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
No, and we had great coaches, and other people had a similar mentality, right?
That's
so it's
amazing.
easier to maintain
iron
that, right?
sharpens iron.
But to your question though, that's where it starts. It's like you see the benefits of putting in the energy, putting in the time. And nowadays, instead of logging my miles, I log hours. It's like this week I was on my computer 70 hours.
Wow.
Like I actually check how much time, and then within that I'm looking at how much that time was productive.
Wow.
How much that time was me using the tools that I'm speaking on. Right. So there's a direct correlation, right? And back when, believe it or not, when I did have free time, it's, this was 2014, 2015. And the thing that caught my attention was electric cars, sustainability, right? That had been a major disruption. People forget there was no conversation about changing anything about transportation or the way the cars work.
The only thing was hybrid at that time.
Hybrid,
exactly.
Priuses were up though.
Spot on. And actually, I remember the day the MKBHD video came out of him reviewing the Model S, and that was like, what is this?
A huge thing,
right? Because up until then, I'd been the tech guy. I watch all the reviews on phones, computers, right? And I'm grateful for my mom on this. She invested heavily only on tech.
Really?
Right? Like we had an apartment that costed us $1,000 a month, and it was 3-bedroom, but all of us are crammed in there.
How many siblings
did you have? But we had a really expensive computer.
Yeah. Right? Were you living? How many siblings did you have?
Me and my two brothers. Mom and then uncle.
Where are you in? Are you like middle?
No, I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
No, I'm proud of my brothers too.
Wow.
Smart cats.
Wow.
But yeah, that's kind of where it started though. Is hey, like, okay, I'm seeing the benefits of sports, and then seeing the benefits of technology is on the up, right? And it's like that was my distraction. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go all in on tech, right? Because it's like it's the distraction away from like doing the hard thing of like
exactly.
So what led to you leaving Tesla?
Because so our timeline is still freshman in high school, you're balancing engineering, and you're also working full time for Elon at Tesla. So now, how old is that? Like what, 18, 19?
20?
Yeah, 19, 20.
When I was 18,
so now,
19.
how did you transition from that to out of Tesla?
Well, I'm grateful for one thing. First, I only did high school for 2 years because Minnesota has the PSEO.
PSEO?
You mean college?
Yes, I went to college.
For 2 years?
Yeah.
Because you already had credits from PSEO. Yo, shout out to PSEO.
Bro,
that's
PSEO.
Yo,
You did PSU?
I didn't.
As you should.
Bro,
no,
I have no regrets in life, but if I go back, I would have done PSEO
all the way,
full time.
Bro, I did PSEO full my junior year and senior year. I was no longer a student. I only went to school just so I could hang out with my friends at lunchtime. And I didn't want to take science classes.
And that was it. Yeah, literally.
History, English, everything was PSEO for free.
The one thing they don't tell you about PSEO is that if you're going to PSEO fucking around, now you're fucking up your high school GPA and your college GPA. I think that's one thing they don't highlight enough. Because a lot of people go there and they're like,
those who decide to do PSEO aren't the students who are the students who
sometimes
fuck around and find out.
Because really, if you go to PSEO, you get a C. It's a B in high school, so you're chilling. But you don't know that you're going to carry that C into college when you start school.
Well, at the end of the day, when the time ends, when college ends, that C don't matter.
C's get degrees.
It don't.
C's get degrees. Continue.
And it's only recently that I like to look at school and grades differently, but at the time it was. But I mean, I'm grateful for my mom now, but she even pushed me even more because she wanted a doctor, right? And I was a junior then, technically, but I was at Normandale doing 21 credits. She said, you're going to max out, and then it don't matter, you're going to do track and all the other sports still. You're going to be working full-time still. You're still going to be at church Saturdays doing the youth programs and Wednesday nights and all of that.
Do you think you grew up too early by doing those things?
That's a great question. I think part of it was... I look back and it was a lot. It was like there was no time for lingering. There was no time to think. It was everything was back to back, right? There was no sleeping in, none of that, right? But a part of it is like you got to get on that regimen earlier. But now I'm grateful because I get to choose my free time, right? And there's nothing more better, nothing more.
You earned your leisure. This guy earned his leisure
all the way, way. But yeah, that's the backstory. There is high school and then getting exposed to Normandale. That was amazing for the other reason of being exposed to actually grown folks, right? So now you're 16, 17, those are foundational years, right? And rather than being caught up in the high school drama, I'm exposed to actual grown folks.
Living in the real world.
And luckily I knew how to connect folks socially, so I made quite a number of friends. And
that's good.
And they didn't care about, hey, this guy's 16.
What does he know?
20s or 30s, right? And luckily for me, that enabled me to like have more friends from that point on that were way older, right? Like some of my best friends now are like in their 50s and 60s.
Oh, that's a great, that's a great benefit. Right? That's such a good benefit.
It only started from there. Right?
Wow. So then you finished from St. Thomas. Is that where you went to school right away after high school?
Yeah.
So you finished from St. Thomas 2 years in. So then after those 2 years, did you continue working? For Tesla?
Here's the interesting thing. I since I was on the biomedical route and then I started working full-time.
Oh, you were doing biomedical engineering?
Yeah, Jesus. But St. Thomas didn't have a biomedical, so I was just doing engineering.
Oh, gotcha.
And then the plan was to be an engineer at Tesla, right?
Oh, okay,
at the Fremont. Anyway, but I started at Tesla, and they just gave me a role, right? They said, hey, they bought Solar City at the time and said, we're expanding to Minneapolis, we're gonna do this, but then we need folks to just, get ready for this new wave, right?
Wow. What was your role? Do you remember?
I was an advisor.
But
I started off as what's called a customer experience specialist.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Basically, I'll tell you this because part of this relates. I want people to see a theme almost, right? Of like obsession. The only reason they gave me a job at 19 at Tesla when the next youngest cat there was like 27, 28.
Wow.
Was because I was frequenting there. Like I was constantly going in, and like they knew I just like was obsessed with the vehicles, right?
Really?
And technology.
I need to do that, bro.
Because you're in person, you're going there.
I'm like, and I'm just like, the day I learned they opened a location over there, I was there like religiously.
Wow.
Mainly because I worked down the street at TC Running. It was a running store down the street.
Okay.
And so I was driving
they got
by
good trainers. Yeah.
Right. And so most team on there is like world class athletes.
Oh wow.
No, so then I started frequenting like after work or before work and just constantly being in there, and they just knew like they had a lot of fans coming at the time.
Oh wow!
But then it was like, oh no, this guy's obsessed.
Wow!
Right? And then when Tesla was like, hey, we're expanding, we're growing.
Wow!
The timing was right because my family and my friends all got sick of me like being obsessed.
Yeah.
Like, don't get a job there. Like, hey, stop talking about this, right? And it's just like how much I talk about AI right now.
Yeah.
It was back then. It's like,
wait, did you pull up in a Tesla?
Not today.
Oh, no.
No.
The nigga said not today. He said not today. That's for Saturday. That's for Saturday.
You gotta get the juice.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's it.
Wow. Continue.
No, but luckily my friends and families told me, Weldon, we love you. we can't hear about this every day.
Wow.
And at the time, like I'm studying the drivetrain of the car. I'm studying like the autopilot just been released.
Oh.
Or they just started
self-driving. That's super
2017.
cool.
And so, like quite literally, I'd be at home not doing homework, like studying Teslas. Like I had the whole notebooks drawn anyway.
Wow.
Because this is my plan. This is like I'm gonna be an engineer here, right?
Of course.
Anyway, luckily a role opened up and they got sick of me, just coming in kicking tires, and they told me, Weldon, throw your hat in the ring, and then started interviewing for that. And at the time it was a longer interview process. Funny enough, actually, the hiring manager there liked me, Alex Olivo.
Oh wow.
But then he got transferred because Tesla's a fast-moving company. He got transferred to Cali, and now he's not there anymore, right? Wow. But I'm calling the store every week. Wow. They knew my number. They're like, this guy is not gonna let go. I'm like, y'all, we had a great interview. And actually, I skipped forward. My interview, I came in, and it's going great. But he's clearly seeing I have no experience.
Yeah.
Even though I had spent weeks before that making my resume look clean.
And this is before chat, guys. This is before chat.
No, like I clocked in 24 hours easily on just editing my resume to make it look pristine.
So
my LinkedIn, all of that, right? Anyway, I go to the interview, and at the tail end of the interview, he's like, dude, clearly you know your thing, right? You know about this car, but like go up on the whiteboard and like teach us something, right?
Oh, off rip.
Yeah, because at the time, this is a new car. This is a new concept. People
and you
don't
doing
know
this at 19?
Exactly.
Some people can't even talk.
Imagine was doing at 26. We haven't even got.
Some people can't even talk to their peers at 19. You're like, oh, go on the board.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you want me to say?
But funny enough, he just wanted me like to explain some light concepts because they needed to know that you could teach, right? Because at the time you teach people, this is an electric car. No, it doesn't use gas.
Gas, of course.
This is why, right? Sustainability, the whole nine. Anyway, I go on the board and I give this guy a 25-minute lecture of how the drivetrain of the car works. And he's like, bro, that's not what I bet.
Wow.
But once you started, I don't want to interrupt you. So you're in.
Wow.
Right? Like
that was the interview.
That was it, right? So it felt really good. But again, I didn't know sales. I didn't know how big companies worked, right?
Yeah.
They should have given me an internship, but they were like, we can't do that. We don't do internships.
Wow.
Anyway, fast forward to your question of why'd I leave? Dude, I had a steep learning curve. I will say it was a unique time because I didn't have a manager for most of the time that I was there. And so we just had to like figure it out. Like our store, like our location just didn't have like a head honcho per se.
Oh wow.
Because the main manager got transferred.
Wow.
So we're all on the same level, but that just, we had to work as a team.
Right.
Which is hard. You need somebody to say,
exactly.
Do this.
Do this.
Yep.
If that's not there, it's like, okay.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But no, got promoted quite, really rapidly because they're seeing again the work ethic. And the next thing you know, like I got this role that I was planning on getting in a few years, within a year. That went from
your own assistant and everything.
Oh, dude, it was interesting because we grew so much, and I was one of the more senior person by the time the mass hiring started.
Right.
And so I was by the time I was in advisor role, like I was then like supervising like a team, right?
Wow.
And interestingly enough, and trading people in, and it's like they'd be looking at me real confused because they're like, dude, you're 20 at this point.
How are you?
People are like 35, they're 35, 40. They're like, wait, you're the one trading me in.
It don't make sense.
How does this add up? But
that's crazy.
The incredible thing about a company like that, because it still had that startup attitude, right? It didn't matter your credentials. It's like, could you do the job? Did you know the product? Did you know the process?
I love that.
Did you give it your all?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And Tesla rewarded that, right?
Wow.
But then by the end, it got crazy because the work ethic of the team was like strong, right? I mean, we were all rewarded for it, right? Everybody was making six figures. And we were all gifted ridiculous amount of stock. Like Tesla, like we just opened up our emails. Hey, you just got another 20K in
as an advisor role.
Oh yeah, dude. They were, because we're keeping the company afloat.
Right? Oh, that's true.
And this is the only location for the 5-state area. Keep in mind at the time, right? Like, so we're controlling the sales and delivery and operations for the 5-state area.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, Elon made one mistake. This is a year before COVID.
Whoa! Joe Rogan with the...
No, that didn't matter. We thought that was cool. Like, hey, bro.
That didn't even affect anything?
Let me try to guess.
Try to get, what was the mistake?
It'll be tough.
I thought it was the hashish with Joe Rogan.
No, that only skyrocketed him.
Really?
Because you understand, dude. That's why they throw the rock.
That was a pivotal moment, yeah.
What's the guess?
What's the guess?
Does it have to do with the pricing?
No.
What was it?
Well, yes and no.
It has to do with some mainstream. It was just too much production of the vehicles.
Man, too much.
This was, I think, May 15th of 2019. He releases a blog post saying that now the $35,000, close to $35,000 Model 3 is available, and delivery is about to skyrocket, as well as he's laying off the entire sales organization for the whole country. Actually, for all of Tesla.
Whoa!
Like all advisors, you don't have a job anymore.
No way.
And he releases in a blog post.
No way. In the most insensitive way.
Dude, we're all reading this. First, we go from excited, like, yay, the $35,000 it's available. Like, we're about to get busier than busy, right? And we're all making commission at the time. So we know the volume about to go. And then we keep reading the blog post, like, oh, by the way, all advisors are on the out. And the reason he did this,
he literally wrote on a blog post about how this new vehicle was coming out cheap, and then he also said the advisory roles were getting cut.
Yeah, and actually more than advisors, like all sales locations are closing damn near, and now there's going to be locations for delivery.
Wow.
He backtracked on that a few months later, but by that time the morale had been lost because we're all here giving our. Like we're working, right? It wasn't about hours. It wasn't about any of that. It was like it was mission. Purpose. Everybody who was there was about the mission, right? There was one of my close coworkers was a doctor, like an MD.
Oh wow!
Right? He's there. He's like, I care about this mission. I love this company.
Really?
I could be practicing doctor. I mean, although the guy made $400K a year, so.
Jeez. Wow.
Right, but you reward it because again, pushing the mission forward, right?
Wow.
So then they lose that morale.
During that time, oh my God.
Crazy. Wait, then you guys are like regular salespeople, right? Because salespeople make money through commission. So was it because the commission was so good, or was it because you had a salary plus commission plus stock? So how was the salary? Like, what was it?
Yes, all of it, but I will clarify on one thing. We were sales, but at the time, most of the company was sales. If you weren't, engineering or delivery operations, you were sales.
Wow.
And you would understand, the sales role meant that you sold a car, you handle the logistics of getting that car from California to the driver. Wow. You handle the financing for them. Like, dude, I'm 20, learning what a finance application is as I'm doing finance applications.
That's crazy at school. That's crazy.
No, like on the job. It's like,
God.
hey, Weldon, so you're getting promoted, and this is what I get 2 hours. This is what a finance contract is.
That's crazy.
This is the process. Now go do it, right?
Wow.
And then like manage the whole 9 yards. Like at the time, there was so many edge cases. I'll just say one, which is like, I sold a car to a couple after working with them for months. They bought a Model X for like $120,000, right?
Wow.
Handled the logistics of getting that car from wherever it was. I think it was Vegas at the time, all the way over here. They took delivery of the car. They drove a mile down the street. It broke down.
Oh!
Like broke. Like it just was not
my
working.
Goodness.
So then I had to, obviously make that right.
Yep.
And they trusted me, right? Because we'd worked together for so long. We built that relation. So then I had to amend that, right? Then now work on, making that car a lemon car, and then getting them a new car, and then delivering that car to them. I literally delivered the car to them at like 10 o'clock one night.
Oh my goodness.
Right? And they're like looking at me like, dude, you look tired. But I'm
like you drove it to their house.
Yeah, like so it was like the whole
DoorDash and Teslas.
Just assume it's like still startup at the time, right? And there was like the role was there, but it's like that just meant you were doing everything.
That is like Chick-fil-A level customer service.
All the way through.
That's crazy.
But that's what was expected, right?
Wow.
And that's why we were rewarded so heavily, right?
Wow.
And at the time, like you gotta understand, like there was like it was close a few times. Like the company was close to going bankrupt a number of times. And it was quite literally deliver the cars. We were there at like 1 a.m. some nights delivering cars.
That's crazy.
Right? Because
that's how startups are, though. That's how
you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
God.
There's no ifs or buts. Hey, the tax credit is ending. We need this many cars delivered. They all just landed. We all gotta go unwrap them, wash them,
you were getting
everything.
Stock options during that time as well.
Let's not talk about stocks anymore.
Let's not talk about
I sold mine, man.
Oh!
If I'd kept my Tesla stock.
Why you sell that joint?
Oh, it's different when you live in 2025.
Yeah,
you understand.
true.
No, my coworkers were looking at me funny. They're like, dude, you
don't
understand what you're doing. And now I was young, dude.
Yeah, you have some coworkers who still holding? You have some coworkers who are still holding?
My God, there's one coworker who has so much Tesla stock, we can't get a hold of him. He's in the middle of Argentina or something. Like he never has to work again. Like,
that's crazy.
And I would be in the same scenario if I wasn't. But I was young, right? That's why part of the reason I'm going back to school is you gotta.
But it's a learning lesson.
It's a learning lesson.
But as much as you can be engineering savvy, you gotta be financially savvy.
You gotta be it all.
I don't know. I gotta learn this other stuff. So it's always about the learning, right?
Yeah. How about my parents with their business? I've learned so much about money and how money can be handled poorly and how money can be handled really well.
Yes.
And how sometimes one day, bro, I promise you, one day there could be zero, there could be $4 in the account.
Yeah.
The next day there's $11,000.
Yep. Yep.
Just like.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's all about the discipline. Like, are you now gonna
spend? What are you gonna do with the money? Damn.
Yeah.
So now, advisorial. Elon says we're cutting it. What's your reaction? Initial reaction to that? As you personally, not your coworkers. You as a person, somebody who was obsessed about this thing.
Yeah.
Getting cut. What was your emotion?
It was tough because I spent so much time, like I told you, 24 hours, like every night editing my resume, getting my resume looking right, studying on the car. No, before I got in Tesla, I like modified my resume so much to get in there, and I was like, I'll never have to do this again. Before that, right? And then that happens, and we're all weirdly at Tesla. We're all on the computers, all like updating our resumes.
Wow.
All like started to apply.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah, like we're like, are we fired? Are we?
Yeah.
Right?
Because you don't even have a manager there at this point, right?
Not at this time. No, we didn't.
Okay, not at that point you did.
But yeah, it just kind of like it went chaotic. Right?
Yeah.
And it was just you don't do that. You don't.
Yeah, you don't do that.
So it's tough. We figured out we stabilized it a little bit, but then by that time the morale had been lost and most people started leaving, and then my coworkers that I. They
from the ground.
jumped.
So look, bro, we got a pioneer right here, bro.
That's crazy.
Tesla. No,
one of the pioneers. That's true.
Pioneer. Where
that's
like
true.
when Tesla was still 2017, and they were talking
delivering
about the
cars
Roadster,
to houses. Yeah,
like
the Roadster that never came.
It was just Elon and a dream, and
that's actually insane.
Yeah, no, this was my first startup. I mean, actually, this is technically my second startup. Because I had a window cleaning company before that. Right?
Oh, really?
That I was managing at the same time too.
Wait, before the Tesla?
Yeah, I started a window
cleaning company.
To this, bro. There's levels.
That means you were probably like what, 16 with the window company?
Yeah, 15, 16. Yeah.
Bro, what he learned at 16, I have to learn at 23.
Crazy.
Because football, as much as I love football,
it takes up a lot of time.
Football didn't allow me the opportunity to do stuff like that.
I have no excuse.
Yeah.
I have no excuse. Yeah. I'm not even gonna fake lie or something. I went to Madison.
Incredible.
I went from Simley.
But you worked very hard to get
Madison.
to Madison.
I worked hard to get to Madison. But the thing about Madison though is like, it was a school where people call it a party school, but honestly, St. Thomas could be a party school if you know where to go to parties. Mankato, people call me. I feel like party schools is just like, if you want to find a party, you're gonna find a party.
That's it.
If you want to be in the house study, you're gonna be in the house. Nobody's gonna drag you to a party.
I just feel like Madison is too rigid for me. Right? Where it's like people are over here.
Yeah, there is competition.
It's the Ivy of the Midwest.
Yeah,
that's true.
People do work hard.
That's true. That's true. So you go exec, so the advisorship, and that initial reaction, was it anger? Was it sadness? What was the highest one?
It was
disappointment.
No, it's like a purpose thing, because it's like up until that point I was like, I'm gonna be at this company forever, right? It's like this is my end game, right? I'm not thinking about anything else, right? It's like I'm married to this company, damn near, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, this company doesn't want me. It's like this company,
reality sunk in
a little bit. So then it's like, well, luckily I'd seen my coworkers getting fished, out of there, right? Like and getting crazy offers. So so I just
from just competing car companies.
Just businesses.
Business in general.
Like managers would schedule test drives just to talk to the folks there, and then
just talk to the workers.
I had a coworker every month he was getting an offer.
Getting poached.
Yeah, poached.
Live.
Champ at the time.
Oh my God.
If you're applying on LinkedIn
and you put ex-Tesla.
Bro, no, I'm just saying, if you're applying on LinkedIn, you're not getting the type of money folks are getting when someone is going out. You telling me someone is going out to schedule a test drive so they can talk to you?
That's true. Yeah. You're not getting $100K.
You're not getting that from applying on LinkedIn.
And I would say sometimes it wasn't even like intentional, like they were planning on doing that. We just have a lot of businesses.
Yes.
And at that time,
there's a certain type of person going to go get a Tesla.
Exactly. They're leaders of companies, right?
Yes.
But then they're coming and they're seeing the work ethic and they're seeing seeing the
well-oiled machine
of the people who work in there.
Yeah.
And they're like, damn, I would love to have this guy on my team. Listen.
Country club for a summer.
As you should.
That country club experience was crazy.
I worked at Edina Country Club. It's not even one of. It's a prestigious country club, but there's levels to country clubs.
Yes.
Edina ain't up there all the way.
Wow.
But the people I met there, and I still to this day have not utilized the connection.
The connection.
You guys need to go back because there's a wall. There's a wall of names and pictures of every member.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know me.
Click.
My last day.
Yeah.
Bro,
You got to keep that connection growing.
And the thing about that role that I was surprised by is like how receptive they are. Like, dude, that was my first time getting like genuinely like welcomed. Like, hey, the doctors I was telling you about, like they invited me over to their barbecues, right?
Wow.
I'm on the lake with, you know,
Oh my
right?
goodness.
Like Lake Minnetonka. Like,
Yes.
frequently.
Levels to this life.
Right. So it's because I'm thinking, why would these guys? But then they see, and then you don't know what you are at the time, right? And then they want to connect, right?
Wow.
And then I met some of my closest friends, right, through that, right?
You're not normal, right?
Yeah, no, literally. He's talking about it like it's regular shit.
You know you're
That's
not
nice.
like
That's nice. Come on, man.
In all
In all
honesty,
seriousness, yeah.
When I go to college,
What the fuck?
okay, when we were at St. Thomas, when I saw you at St. Thomas, and not even on no such things, right? when I saw my girl, it was in a dark room, and she lit that room like. I said I'd be a fool if I didn't marry this girl, and I knew I was gonna marry because at the end of the day, I said my next relationship is my last.
You were
and she came through, right?
Yeah.
So it worked out. I'm saying when I saw it,
No, I didn't hear the rest of the sentence.
When I saw you, I'll be so honest. I said because you were at T's. You always sat at T's in one of the booths. So many people, everyone talking, everyone getting this and that. I said, nah, this guy's different. This guy is on his computer. His head is always down like this, but he's always having a conversation with someone else.
Wow.
I never saw him alone. Yeah. And when I think about someone who just gives free game just to give free game.
Free game. Yo, free game. A lot of people don't want to do that.
No.
A lot of people don't want to give free game. You know what that remind me of? You ever seen The Social Network?
Of course.
When what's it called? The iconic scene where he walks in, and then Justin Timberlake says he's plugged in. He can't talk right now because they had this thing during. He smashed. They have this thing at Facebook where when they have their engineers working, they call them like they're plugged in. Like you can't talk to them. Like don't even approach them because they locked in right now. He said he was locked. I feel like that's what you like when you focus. You're really focused. Like you're all in. A lot of things. I feel like that's why people are. There's levels to people who are good at things. It's your level of obsessiveness. Like even like Mr. Beast, I love listening to podcasts with him because you can tell he's not doing YouTube just to get a quick buck. You can tell that thing is his lifeblood.
Yeah.
Like if YouTube went away, I don't even know if that man would still be here.
Yeah.
Like that's his life, and you can tell when somebody is obsessed with something because there's a lot of greatness that happens with obsessiveness. If you can be obsessed,
It's different because he can also lock in.
But also be a human being.
Be human.
Yeah, that's true.
When I worked at RSM,
that's a skill.
Folks, I said, you know what, bro? I love this place. Y'all pay me well.
Yeah,
thank you.
Nah, that's it.
So no, honestly though, where it's just like, and even when did we really start like meeting up?
A year ago.
And then we really started hanging around each other this summer. Where it's like you've been teaching me a lot and whatnot. So for the viewers, for the people watching, if they don't know what AI is, they know what ChatGPT is.
Yes, because we want to get to for y'all who've been listening, this is really the meat and bones
and we're
of this
already
podcast.
42 minutes.
Yeah, you timing it too?
Yeah.
So with AI, right? That is the new. You as soon as you walked in here, right? When we were chopping it up a little bit, you said it's like you don't want to miss the gold rush. Expand on that.
Wait. Explain what AI is.
Oh yeah, sure.
AI is just ChatGPT.
Yes.
From learning from you,
it's way more than that.
AI is on the bottom of my my tools.
That one, and then it'll probably link up with why it's the new gold rush as well.
I would describe it differently. It's steroids.
Well,
it allows anybody to go from being average to superhuman. It's point blank, right? I'll actually segue into that by talking about the obsession thing. Because because we talked about that earlier, right? And I'm lucky for my mom because she was like, no, you always got to be. We didn't come all this way just for you to sit around, right?
Exactly.
And be mediocre, right?
And
I was gonna say
about that immigrant mentality. I love it.
Always,
I love it.
Because luckily, it's like, hey, you got to take this to the next level, right?
100%.
You're deciding the generation after you.
100%.
Right? And it's also a faith thing, right? It's
100%.
I'm reminded, right? It's if you actually walk with God, it's a requirement to push yourself, right? To push yourself to be the best that you possibly can, right?
Wow.
And part of this is now it's kind of cool, like to be obsessive and like whatever. And this started with my faith back when, right? Like I used to go to church like 4 or 5 days a week.
Wow.
Just because I'm like, I have so much I need to work on, right? Wow. It's like almost like like I'm not perfect and I'm not going to stop until like I iron this out. Even if I'm doing something slight, it's like, no, we got to get us all the way.
We got to refine it.
Right? And it's that strive for perfection that's like,
of course.
It's a forever thing.
Of course.
Right? Like,
you'll never get there.
You'll never.
But that's the point.
It's the journey.
That's the journey.
It's that journey, right?
Yeah.
And I've had the opportunity to exercise this previously, right? So part of this, I watch a lot of pods and listen to a lot of people talk about this technology, right?
Yeah.
Because now it's not just AI; it's just the technology, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't connect it to something greater, right? And it's that. And I've had the opportunity to exercise that through like sports, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that, right? And pushing yourself.
Right.
So then now, I luckily got exposed to ChatGPT during the Tesla days, right? Because again, this was the Elon company, right? And
what?
And we like.
You telling me you had chat in 2019, 2020?
Yeah, I got exposed to it.
No way.
Yeah, there was, there was engineers that I was talking to that was talking about the humanoid, like the Optimus.
What?
And I'm looking at them like, you're goofy.
You know this, bro.
No,
when it comes out for us regular folks, it's already been out to people.
Yeah,
my bad.
But I'm looking at them like, y'all capping. We're not going to make a robot.
No,
we're not.
No
That's
way.
ridiculous. I'm looking at them like, okay, but this is just the rumors. It's just whatever, right? But again, you get exposed to things like you said a little bit earlier, right? And like OpenAI, like I'd been following the YouTube channel from back when, right? And like just seeing them like showing like, hey, this is what AI is, this is what LLMs are going to be able to do, and they're showing like code generation side.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, like I was going to school initially for engineering, right? But I didn't finish the program.
Engineering blows.
But what I appreciate about the engineering discipline is that requirement again to always perfect your skill, right? You're always learning.
Yeah. That's why this man said engineering blows. This man said the discipline. That's why you're different. That's why you know what he's saying. This man engineering blows.
There's a difference, bro.
Yeah, there's a no, we know. Continue.
Yeah, and it's about a skill set thing, right? Because luckily, when I was at Tesla, although I was in a sales and marketing and operation role, it required being technical. Like I had to use 20 plus systems to do my job. Like I just told y'all, hey, I got to work on finance, I got to work on delivery, I got to work on all of these different things.
Oh my goodness.
And managing all of that is like tricky, right? So you get just exposed to software and like technical software.
Of course.
But it always been a goal of mine, especially once I got a little bit better about talking to people and like, right, the personal thing, right? Or the social aspect. I wanted to become more technical. So after Tesla, I said, hey, I want to really invest into this, right? And I'd always wanted to be in software, right? But the thing about software is it's an uphill, right? And I can now say this conclusively, it's been the hardest thing I've ever done.
Wow.
It doesn't matter who you are, unless you grew up with it, like you were coding at like 12, 8, 9 years old. It's an uphill battle, especially as an adult, right? Just like how you were saying, like if I told you to start doing triathlons, that'd be real difficult compared to growing up with it. It's like this is your upbringing, this is normal compared to starting now as an adult. So for me, I started this and it was one of those things where like I'm ripping hair out because I'm like this should not be this hard. And I'd been invested into like learning how to develop and make apps and
what's that guy's
software.
Name? Shout out the guy. He makes the like app clones and whatnot.
Yes, main guy that I was learning from on YouTube, right? Because that's where we learn everything.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, app stuff. Stephen Codes. Yeah, shout out to you, Stephen Codes. This gets to him, right?
Stephen Codes.
No, a lot of guys online giving tutorials, right? And at the time, I was like, I want to make iOS apps.
Really?
Right? I want to be able to make something on my phone. And yes, having online is great, but again, I'm looking for community, right? Everything I've done up until this point had been a team thing, right?
Of course.
Even though I was running the marathons and the 5Ks, it was still a team thing. Like you're running with people. So I wanted to have others in this journey with me. And so I started looking for that here in Minnesota. And it's small community. So at this time, I'm like, well, the only place that I've been exposed to others who want to build is school, St. Thomas. And that was my journey back to St. Thomas.
That's a great place to build.
Right? Because here's the thing, I'll tell you, startup world, I wish I had the stats on this, but trying to start a startup outside of college, the likelihood of you succeeding is so low, don't even bother.
Wow.
Compared to trying to make a startup while you're in college. Yo, you kidding me? The school will give you funding. They have incubators and accelerators there, right? You don't have to worry about food. You don't, and then you can find others, building with you. Look at Mark. Look at all these other guys who started businesses when they're in college. Right? Every week there's investors coming through saying, "Hey, who's building?"
But they'll come to your class.
Yes.
Exactly. So, and I got exposed to this, being outside of college and trying to build a startup. Don't even bother, right? So that's why I had to attempt to go this. But to your question of AI and my perspective on it, right? First, everybody knows what it is, right? Like using these tools to really automate the building, right?
Of course.
But for me, I actually look at it as different, right? It's quite literally an extension of me right now. I use it for everything.
Wow.
When it says everything,
like everything.
It means everything.
Like my AI spend, like my AI tech stack cost, like what I paid for software last month was more than my rent.
What?
Was more than my rent for my house and my office.
You are lying.
Ebenezer.
For what I paid in software last month, I could have had a lease on a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
He's not lying.
Wait, so what? Are you able to tell us the software that you like to use and for what? Like one for, brushing my teeth in the morning. No, but you know what I mean. Because like you're sending text messages to people. Like what are you using on your day to day with that to make it cost that much? Yeah. To get to that level.
First, here's a good analogy. So everybody knows the concept of a car.
Yes.
Right? Is there a difference, since we're talking about Lamborghinis, is there a difference between a Toyota Corolla and a Lamborghini?
Duh.
Yes.
They're both cars.
They both do the same thing.
They both go A to B.
One is nicer, got the nice features.
In this analogy, is there a difference between a brand new Prius and a Model X Cybertruck?
Yeah,
There's a major difference.
Yes,
One costs exponentially more.
Yes.
Right? So I would say there's a lot of people right now who are disappointed with AI. Right? Who are like, for me, I damn near have to stop myself from laughing anytime people say, AI is a bubble, AI is overhyped. I'm like,
I was just thinking that in my head. You said exactly what was in my head right now.
It's because people are driving a Prius but expecting Cybertruck, right? Or expecting a Lamborghini, right?
That's a good analogy.
That's the world we've been in, by the way, right? Like we've been in that world, right? Like, so it's fun to say that because it's like, from my standpoint, I've taken this approach of like, well, there has to be something here. You've seen the whole country and the whole government pivot towards this. Yes. You've seen the whole world pivot and go to this.
You see Sam Altman with the president signing deals, stuff like that.
Right? It's sketchy, but we'll get there.
and part of this, I have the benefit of being exposed to so many things. Like I've been in government contracts before, been government contracting before.
Wow.
I've been. I'm a compliance and actuarial major at school.
You have a 360 point of view.
Yeah, it's like you got to look at all these different data points, right? Of
course.
But I look at it. We can bucket into like three separate ways, right? I was just explaining this earlier, right? Which is you can use AI for yourself, right? AI for, similar to Google, or using it as just a quick assistant, right? ChatGPT, as it is right now. Yeah. You can use AI for others. Right, meaning like you're building a software products for others, right?
Or even ChatGPT's new agent assistant that they just added.
Agentic AI.
Agentic. We're not there yet, bro.
Well, I was more to say like you can use AI to make software for people, right? Solve problems.
Internal
launch apps,
thing.
right? Yeah. Or at a company, right? Like you can make a company around this, right? And then there's obviously enterprise, right? How enterprise is using it, right? And like large institutions. Those are the three buckets I put AI in, right?
There's a company that literally buys like ChatGPT or Cursor for all their employees.
All of it.
Wow.
That's most leaders right now. Most leaders right now. And here's the beauty of my position is like I've been day one. So I've seen how this has been.
He really has.
One thing I'm upset about is I wish ChatGPT and Cursor and all these other tools had like leaderboards of like who spends the most time. Because I'd be up there. Let me put it like this. Ignore the spend, right? Because the spend is like I want to use the best models.
Yes,
and I want to compare how are the best models compared to this.
Yes.
Right? And they're expensive, right? Just today alone, like my cost and just like my AI usage was over $200. Just today. Just today. When you think about it,
like $4 or $5 today.
But think about it. If you had a Prius and you paid for gas, how much did you pay for gas that day?
That's true.
Compared to get a Lamborghini.
Yes.
Right? We refueled the Lamborghini and paid, $200 for 1 day.
For 1 day a drive.
Just to drive from one place to another.
You go vroom 2 times back to the gas station.
That's it, right? Or like you go on a cruise the whole day.
Exactly.
You're gonna pay, right?
Can you give us the names of the software that you use? Because right now, because you're saying the Prius, so I'm on Prius time. I use chat. Now I might not be.
I got a Mazda.
I might be Mazda now with Cursor. But a lot of the companies I know of, they got a Copilot for the whole squad. They got ChatGPT 5 for the whole squad, right? So these are the Priuses.
ChatGPT 5?
I use ChatGPT 5. Yes.
Do you get it
yeah, of course.
That's good.
Right, of course. So it's like
ChatGPT 5 Pro paid?
Well, it depends on the level, right? I think everybody gets the max. I think it's on 5 now. I don't know if it's a higher. Yeah, that's what we get. So
we need to talk.
We get all those things. So it's like, what are those software that you're saying are Lamborghini? Because a lot of us don't hear it. A lot of us know chat.
Yeah.
But what are the names of these software?
That's a phenomenal question. Okay. Right. And I'll answer that by saying what actually started the journey for me.
Oh, perfect.
Like going all in, right? It was the summer before last. I had just finished being at Marsh, which is a a broker for all insurance products. And
oh wow.
And one of the things they asked me to do at the end of the summer was give a presentation on AI.
Wow.
Me and some others, and it was the most embarrassing thing because it was the first time I went up there and I didn't know my thing. I didn't know y'all know I'm the guy with Tesla. I just went up there and I just taught this guy about how the drivetrain. I like to go deep.
Wow.
And that's everything I do, right? I need to go
you don't do a half
levels, right?
All the way.
So after leaving that, I just things eat at you, right? So then I said I'm going all in on this, right? Yeah. And at the time, what had just happened is OpenAI released the API key to allow developers, and basically we wanted to build with this technology to use it in that context.
That's when I started using
and at the time, I'd been doing mobile development, right? I'd been, again, on iOS apps. But I had just finished learning everything that was related to the front end, making an app look nice, right? Being a front end developer.
Beast.
Exactly. And then now it's like I got to learn databases and servers and the meat of it, right? Which is, again, the difficult part, right?
And at that point, you're basically data engineering. If you're building a database and how databases are going to hold, that's data engineering like territory.
Spot on. Completely spot on. So as I'm about to start this, it's now just went from like difficult to like, oh no. This is hard, right? I'm just pulling all night trying to understand this, right? Wow. But then, and my workflow had been use ChatGPT, get the code, copy that, paste it into Xcode, right? And I'm going back and forth, right? And then now they just made it
very
familiar. Yeah, right? That sounds familiar, bro.
Exactly. But then getting a lot of errors, trying to debug a lot of things. So for me, it was keeping an eye out to like what's going to alleviate this workflow, and that's really what's available now. Is like they pretty much embedded ChatGPT into these developer tools like Xcode and VS Code, which is it's called an IDE, an development environment, right? Okay. Which is integrated development environment, which is what you use to build applications, software, right? And even hardware or the firmware for hardware products, right? But this is what you need in order to do code.
Yes.
Anyway, so they add this into VS Code and GitHub with the Copilot, which is great, but it's just good for like helping you like spell the functions correctly.
It's like autocorrect, but for coders. It's
exactly.
Like finish. It just finishes your code for you.
I like VS Code. I like it.
Yeah, and it was great, helpful, right? But it wasn't like, oh, this is a game changer.
Yes,
right?
of course. You still got to write the code.
Exactly. But to the now, actually after that, I spending a lot of time on YouTube, get acquainted with some guys who are also builders.
Wow.
And this leads to an AI agent company, right?
Wow.
Called Custom AI Studio.
Wow.
Before he continues, when he started working with these guys that he met on YouTube, because the guys on YouTube, right? I met him. I will never forget. We were walking up to go get lunch or something, and I believe you weren't able to go to lunch, but you had to use one of the study rooms or something. So we were just walking up the stairs at St. Thomas, and he told me, look into agents. I said, bro.
That was when? What time?
That had to be my
last fall.
Yeah, last fall. Yeah, around that time.
Wow.
And I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to.
This is right before the NNN wave.
Yeah.
Right before AI agents as they're starting, right?
He was on top of it.
Last fall.
Bro, he was on top of it when no one else was.
They didn't launch AI agents till this year, right?
That's through ChatGPT.
I'm talking chat. Yeah, I'm talking chat. They didn't launch chat.
No, it's been available though.
Wow.
In like small increments and like not a lot of people knew about it. It did not become mainstream until this spring, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Wait, so tell me more about that. The YouTube.
Met a guy online named Devin. Devin Kearns. And he'd been just simply looking at what's happening, and as soon as that API key became available, just started playing around with it, building different agents. And so, so Devin and I talking about agents or whatever, and then he posts one video that goes berserk.
Wow.
Like, I mean, this is
how many views are you talking?
Like 50K. 50K, but it's all about AI agents.
Wow.
Right? And so then, luckily, that all that traffic goes to the website, and so bro and I like, hey, let's start taking appointments. Let's start offering agents. Or like let's talk to people about this and see what they want us to build, right? At the time, we're just gonna charge whatever for consulting people to learn more, because a lot of people just wanted to learn more.
Exactly.
Can you just build this thing for me, right? Because at the time, up until then, Zapier had been it, right?
Yes, Zapier.
And this is like Zapier couldn't do jack, right? It's like made for this little thing, or it's like as good as like shortcuts on your phone.
Exactly. Right? Nothing crazy.
Just tap on the back.
But dude, when I tell you, the calendar booked up.
Whoa.
Like the whole 30-minute calls every hour, like 2 every hour, like for the whole day from 8 a.m. until 9.
Oh my God.
Back to back, right?
You charging them for this, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Or they'd jump on the call. And
wonderful.
We'd ask them what they want us to build, and they say, hey, we want you to build this. This is like the extension of custom software, right? Just niche down to AI agents. But it was interesting because it wasn't like these people were nobodies. First, it was global, right? Second, we started looking at the emails. We're like, wait, BCG. Wait, these are some big companies. We're like looking at right?
No, I don't.
I love it. You had me. I was like, oh, okay. He knows about the consulting world.
No. Wait, is there a logo, a lion? Like a blue lion?
No.
No, what's their logo?
Isn't it a B and then the C's on the middle?
It's Boston Consulting Group, right?
Oh,
the large.
Are they like Deloitte and all those?
Exactly.
Okay.
The guys who consult like Apple on their technology or whatever, right?
Okay.
Before Palantir took all the hype, right?
Wow,
this was them, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're seeing these guys, and then it kind of gets this confirmation of like how early we are, because these are big names of big companies who, like, this is like new to them, right? So then we start building agents and just exploring this, right? Because again, Ricky Bobby, if you're not first, you're last. Right?
Of course.
So we're just experimenting with everything and taking on whatever projects. Anyway, fast forward this was now September or August when we start this. And then by December, we've scaled this to a team of 12. Did our first raise, like our first seed raise, funding-wise, for the company, and like we're 6-figure revenue, monthly revenue, and global, right? We have customers in Europe,
how many people on
South
the team?
America, 12.
12.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I saw this, bro.
Wait, pause. Let's take a pause. So, I'm still stuck on timeline. So, when do you meet these YouTubers? When do you start this?
The summer before last.
The summer before last.
Yeah.
So this was 2024 summer. So then from that time, when did BCG start to contact y'all?
Immediately. They were like first week.
Really?
Yeah, that was like week one.
They were ahead of everything.
This was before the video took off. This was before the 50K
no,
video.
The video just taken off. The calendar is booked.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the video taking off is what led to the flush of people coming in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
So now you guys are doing 6-figure revenue monthly based on consulting.
Yeah.
Are you building as well?
We're building. Yeah, we're building. It starts off with like us doing projects for like $3,000-$5,000 to $20,000 with some notable companies.
Wow. So now you're doing that. Mm-hmm. Okay, continue.
Full time, like this. Is, but I'm still in school full time.
Still in school.
Wait.
Still at T.
Hold on.
This is literally like
I am so confused. Yeah, after Tesla advising,
back to school for actuarial and
compliance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how.
So you get your first degree, bachelor's in engineering.
No,
do you finish that?
I did not finish.
Oh, okay. You went to something else.
Because I'm full time Tesla.
Got you. So you just stopped school. Pause.
Mm-hmm.
Tesla.
Back to school.
Back to school for actuarial.
Actually, I'd be lying if there was a little stuff. This is now after COVID, right? After COVID, there's a bunch of stuff. Sleep number, illicit windows.
Yeah, you did. I totally forgot you did work out.
I mean,
we put
with humility. It's with humility I say this.
Yeah.
We're hosting fashion shows at Mall of America. We're doing everything. Like guys, it never stops, right? It's just
there's always.
But it was like, okay, now like because again, trying to find purpose.
Yes.
And then it's like still technology at the center, but I'm just exposed to everything.
That's exposed to everything. So then the YouTubers, how did you find them, or did they find you?
On YouTube. We're on YouTube.
Really? You just commented and they responded?
My guy, it's a community. YouTube is a community, and then
and once you find your niche,
your
GG.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Wow.
So then, this is now last fall, right? And it's interesting because it's a tail end of summer. I just finished being at Marsh, the risk management company. Still in school, right? I was only there for the summer.
Yeah.
And then like I have this month gap before school starts, and I told you that's when I went back, dove all in on AI.
Yeah.
And then like literally 2 weeks before school starts, calendar is booked. We're going crazy, right? And then Devin focuses on the building. I focus on handling all the appointments and the consulting side of it, right?
It's almost like Tesla prepared you.
Always.
Yo, there's something about divinity and timing. I talk to my brother-in-law about this all the time, Toby. God is not a God of, I'm gonna just give you this, I'm gonna give you that. He's a God of timing. He's strategic. People think God is like, a magical person that is. No, God is actually super strategic and scientific.
Always.
He's super scientific because if you didn't have the Tesla opportunity, how would you be able to handle all of this customer service now? And now you don't have a manager, you don't have no structure. Before Tesla, they'd be like, do this. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's like God prepared you for this next opportunity.
All the way through. It's been sequential all the way after, right? And at times take it for granted, but then always got to refocus and just understand what's in front of you. Right? But so with the thing about AI is it's all about exposure. Yes. It's all about like hands-on, right? Because again, you can only get exposed to how much you can do when you're using ChatGPT on your phone or on the computer.
You're limited.
You're still seeing, AI is cool, this, that, and third, but then when you use it to build and solve some problems, it's different. And what you understand about the consulting world, it's always been they charge this hefty fee for them to understand your problem.
Yes.
Right? Hey, come in and then we'll give you this presentation of like, this is where your problem is. Right?
McKinsey & Company, what's your problem? Okay, fire half the staff.
I get to see how much you charge folks.
And then maybe if you pay us this even larger sum, we'll come in and we'll fix it.
Yeah.
And then what they do is they take that boatload and they go hire the tech companies. No, they go to the tech companies. They have partnerships with Google, NVIDIA, Oracle, and they say, hey, we've scoped this project. Yeah. Give us a solution. And then they package up the software to then go back and they implement, right?
Wow. So they're just a really fancy middleman.
Exactly.
Wow.
But you got to understand that actually you said it best, right?
Wow.
And so now this enabled us to do consulting differently, right? Which is like, hey, what's the exact problem you have? No problem. We'll go build agents that can solve that problem. And they're kind of almost looking at us weird. They're like, you guys are going to charge us 10K, 5K? You're going to go build me the solution and then give it to me, and now it's solved my 100K problem.
Wow,
that's incredible, right?
Wow.
And so that's. But to the point about exposure with AI, right? It's like, we're seeing AI in real world, AI in real business applications, right? Because up until that point, the main use is people using it to write papers, write emails, right?
That was huge.
Right?
Cheat.
And don't get me wrong, great. And some people used it different ways of like writing books.
I heard my degree. right away. I'm a prestigious student.
Yeah.
Of course. We don't believe you. Continue.
But no, what I got exposure to at the time was, with consulting, you get to see what problems, the themes of problems in all businesses.
Ooh, this guy is thinking.
Because you got to think about it. I'm now talking daily. I'm talking daily from sunrise to sunset, and sometimes even later, constantly different business leaders, and they're coming to me with their problems, right? And so, and it's all executives at companies.
Yeah.
It's all CEOs, CIOs, CFOs, right? And they're, hey, this is the problem we have. Can AI solve this problem?
Solve the problem?
Right? We're hearing so much about AI, and some board members telling us we're going to use AI. Can y'all like explore this with us? And we're a partner in that journey, right? And not everybody would sign up, but the main thing is being able to see what problems are consistent among all organizations.
Wow.
And the first theme for anybody who can drive this, who can get value from this, is no leader ever feels like they're like they got a grip on it. Things. Never ever did I talk to a head of a company and they're like, yeah, I feel like everything's going well. I feel like I have an understanding of everything that's going on in the business. I feel like our customers are served well. I feel like our employees enjoy their, the technology they use, the operations of the process. No leader was ever saying that. Right. Second was everybody hates the software they're using. Every single company doesn't feel like their software is an enabler. They feel it's like something they always have to work around. So I'm like, this is interesting. You guys spend $20 million a year on your Salesforce license.
Of course.
Bro, $20 million? No,
20 million, I'm saying.
Bro, companies are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on Salesforce, and in my opinion, Salesforce is dog dookie ass.
The CRM, that's the number one CRM right now, isn't it?
Because they learned how to monopolize the system. And people are like, man, if I don't use Salesforce, I'm losing. It's like, no.
Now you got Salesforce certificates you have to get, stuff like that.
You got to educate people for years for them to get an expert.
That's going to become outdated by the time.
And then build it for you.
Bro,
which just show you how unorganized your software is. It's really feature rich, but all those features you can't really tap into.
To learn the learning.
A company has to go hire a Salesforce.
Now I can't even do my job because I got to learn how to work the software.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that's one major learning. But now I want to bring back to your question of what tools am I using? Dude, every single one of them.
Wow.
I've seen the journey of how it's all progressed from when it was just ChatGPT to then Claude to then Perplexity to all of these come out, and I have an account with every single one of them.
Wow.
Why? Because all of them try to solve the same kind of problem in a different approach. Right?
A bunch of rappers.
Maybe, but they again with business, you starting a company.
What a rapper is.
Oh, I thought you meant something else.
No. But like a clone. I'm saying.
Okay.
Sometimes a rapper can diminish what it is.
Well,
I would say
it seems like that's such a derogatory term in AI language. It's like
it's a rapper.
That's how business works.
Because there's something that does what that other thing does.
It's an abstraction, right? You're just going one level of abstraction away from the core of it, right? And I remember when Microsoft, y'all remember when Satya at Microsoft said that AI is a commodity? You remember hearing him say
that's
LLMs are commodities.
Satya is the CEO?
Yeah, he's at Microsoft, right?
Oh,
and they have a deal with ChatGPT.
Oh, really?
They damn near own ChatGPT.
Damn near, but OpenAI is expanding out.
I thought they were competing with OpenAI because they have Copilot. Is Copilot built off chat? Or what?
Exactly, it's a rapper.
It's a rapper.
Yeah.
Yo, mic drop.
Microsoft pretty much owns Chat. Like, they have so much money. When they fire Sam Altman, and I was like, man, these people are tweaking. Why'd they fire Sam Altman? I realized they probably should have kept him fired.
No, but they had to rehire. I heard that was a whole lot of
who
promotion.
told them to rehire them?
Who?
Microsoft.
Wow.
Microsoft said, we're pulling money out if you do not rehire Sam Altman.
Oh, wow.
That's true, correct?
Wow.
But now OpenAI is... They're trying to say we're on the same level now. They have a deal with Microsoft. They have a deal with Apple. Who don't
got
they
deal
have a deal
with the government?
They have a deal with everybody, right? So now it's an equal playing field. But I was gonna say there's an interesting take when you can see how different companies are trying to tackle similar problems, right? So Cursor is my primary, but Claude. Anthropic, right? Anthropic made Cloud, and they're more so developer focused. I have an account with Windsurf. I've played with Replit early on. But what really got me diving, actually, I'm sorry, to back up, N8N was like the beginning of it. N8N was when we started building agents, right?
Wow.
And then it was, what got me a little bit out of the N8N wave was Lovable. Lovable managed to focus primarily on web development.
Yes.
And just simply, hey, we want to make it easy.
Crush that.
They crushed
just that.
Their business, brilliant. What they did was really smart, right? So then I got exposed to that and I said, wait, for $20, you guys just let me build this? That the same experience y'all just went through, right? And then once I went through that, I realized the limitations of that. That's kind of, again, what I'm always testing for. What's the limitations of this? And then that brought me into Cursor and then some of these more, more horsepower tools,
really?
Right?
So which one has the most horsepower? Which one is the Lamborghini?
Not about which one has the most horsepower. It's the function inside of the tool that has the horsepower.
Really? So like Claude, like is that like the most expensive? Like what's making it cost $20,000, like thousands of dollars?
So onto that part about LLMs being a commodity. That's the fuel for the car, right? There's 87 octane, 89, right? Or 93, right? There's different levels of fuel, right?
Exactly.
And there's different sizes of tanks, right?
Yep.
And the one is for, again, a Prius hybrid, right? It's made to be low cost and cheap, right? But it's going to get you from A to B.
Yep.
And there's a Lamborghini where you are just,
you're putting in the
utility, right? You are, you're getting the maximum. So I would say, for me, the reason why my spend is so high is because, again, I'm attempting to build things that are for people, solve problems, right? But also, it goes into my personal life, right? And I mentioned earlier that I use AI as like a way to enable myself. It's my steroid, right? I'll give you one regular use case of just ChatGPT and then one like developer focused, right? ChatGPT, a few months ago, my girlfriend's car starts shaking. Take it to the mechanic. They say, hey, it's going to be $3K to fix.
Whoa, wait,
damn.
Is she driving a Jeep Wrangler?
No, Hyundai.
Hyundai,
right?
Okay.
I'm like, for a Hyundai, $3K for this car? That's like half the value when I'm doing that, right? So what I do, I take a picture of the invoice and I ask Chat, hey, can you show me how to do this myself? I don't go to a mechanic. It says, yeah. Order this part from Amazon for $20, and then here's a 3-minute video showing you how to change the part. The part came. It took me 20 seconds to change the part on the car. The shaking stopped. I just saved $3K.
Whoa!
Right? That's a real world
right there.
Solution.
So
right?
So Chat is your everyday. My shoe is this. How do I?
Yeah,
Chat is your everyday quick solution.
That's quick.
I did this on my phone. I'm listening to this sales advisor as he's talking, or service advisor. I'm like, I know how the dealership game goes. Y'all make your money from this. So I just took a picture of it, and then I was planning on sending it to my buddy who's a mechanic. But I said, let's just, again, this is always about testing. I believe in always testing these tools, right? And so I just said, hey, find the part, give me a video. It found the part, $20, literally off Amazon. Found the video, a minute long. And that saved me how much?
$3K.
$3K. So that's why I spend $3K a month on AI.
Wow. I'm kidding. The value. The value.
$3K.
So going from that to what I just did yesterday. Y'all hear about this government shutdown?
Yes, please. Let's talk about that.
I worked at the airport MSP for 1 day.
For 1 day? What happened?
A few years ago. I was there for 1 day. Day two. Or at the end of my day one, my buddy who I'd been doing e-commerce with, Collins and Steve, they called me and said, hey, we're going down to Miami tomorrow for a fund launch, teaching people how to launch financial fund, right?
Wow.
And Charlie, or Warren Buffett's business partner, Charlie, is going to be there.
Whoa.
You want to come? I said, damn.
I'm working.
I said, flight benefits or go be in the same room as Charlie and others who are launching funds.
Wow.
Tough call. Tough call. I call them, hey, y'all, when you start, you can't delay it. Anyway, I went down to
And e-commerce, are they doing Shopify or is it different level?
Shopify and a few other
Wow.
others. Yeah. You probably heard of these guys. You'd probably, not even, bro.
Shopify is good. Shopify is good.
You probably heard of these guys, these cats, Collins and Steve.
Wow.
I'll show you that story later, but you probably see them around, right?
That's crazy.
Anyway, government shutdown.
Government shutdown. It's been about a week now that the government's been shut down.
I like to, really again, see the repercussions of these decisions, right? Because with my e-commerce guys, I got exposed to government contracting, right? We started bidding on government contracts and seeing how that world works. But I wanted to see what the repercussions of this was going to be. So I looked up online, is there a way to see how many airports, because I've been hearing rumors of airports like slowing down or having more cancellations and delays. Couldn't find anything that showed me this, right? This like flight radar that would show you like live traffic but that's not useful. So what I decided to do is I told Cursor, go find the data that like historic data, flight data, and find live data like using an API and build me a dashboard that shows me this, right? That shows me how many airports are currently having delays, how many cancellations are they having, and make sure and ensure that it's all real data, right? So it found.
Did you give it the government website to look for, or
No.
did you looked for it?
It went and researched, found the government websites. All I had to do was go create an API key. But I'm attempting to show, like, I had this curiosity of how is this actually, what's the real, because I'm reading the news, they don't have anything. It's like you go and they're just, it's anybody's guess. Right? I might as well go to the airport and just stand there and be like, oh yeah, the airports are empty. But that's not, you're data analytics, right? Exactly. It's like, I want to know the real
data.
And that's my frustration right now with news, is like, you don't know the truth.
Yes.
Right? It's just all speculation. It's like, again, trying to make you feel a certain type of way. But I like to make my decisions that are based on
facts.
Right?
Exactly.
So this is just one example. And this is how it's good it's gotten, because I've seen these AI agents and these tools like, change over time. And for me to build something like that, a few months ago would have had me really involved, right? But with Claude Sonnet 4.5,
Max.
I don't even know what he's saying right now. He could be speaking Japanese.
Sorry. Claude Sonnet 4.5 when my code is not working well.
Yeah.
Bro, I use
Max.
I use the app with the little square. That's what I call it. I don't even know if it's 4.5, 2.8. I don't know nothing. I just know download this to my computer and it made me a website. That's all I know. So Sonnet 4. So now you're talking the Octane. Now you're talking the LLM.
Exactly.
Now you're talking
Exactly.
Okay. That's the highest level.
So this is a new update. Anthropic is the one who made this.
Oh, right? Anthropic made Claude.
Anthropic makes Claude. And
or Cursor. Or
No.
Oh, Claude. Okay.
Cursor is a startup. Anthropic made Claude.
Okay. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Cursor's the application.
Our fact checker. No, we gotta ask.
I'll clarify. So you've heard of VS Code?
Yes, I do.
So Cursor is a fork of VS Code.
Yeah.
Meaning it's a clone of VS Code.
VS Code.
And then they just like really went all in on making it have more AI features and making it so that whenever you tell her to do something to build, it can really do it better than Lovable, any one of these tools. Because again, VS Code is the premier developer tool, right?
Developer tool.
Anyway, I've seen the different iterations of these agents or these LLM models come out, and now like the most recent one, 4.5, and also Opus is pretty decent too. When I told it yesterday, make me this site, when I tell you, I did this early in the morning because I woke up and I was like, I need to figure this out. I don't sleep, all right? I just be thinking about this, right?
Wow.
I woke up and I was like, I'm looking up sites trying to find this, can't find anything. So then I open my computer, I tell Cursor, build me this. When I tell you I stepped away, showered, ate breakfast, started my whole day, an hour and a half later I came back, it was still working.
Wow.
Right? It had just done research, because this is a new model, this is a new update to Cursor.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. It just finished planning and researched like where to find the data, how I was going to create this, researched the MCPs I was using, like I'm using DigitalOcean. How I was it made a whole build plan, and then it started that build plan, right?
Wow.
And then it started building, right? And it takes a while.
Wow.
Do
you use Puppeteer MCP?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I prefer Playwright.
Playwright. Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Same difference.
We be using Puppeteer.
Same difference, and that's the main thing. That's the main difference with the new update with Cursor is they integrated directly with Playwright. So that way, before I had to use the Playwright MCP. I had to go use the Playwright MCP to tell it to go do X, Y, and Z.
Wow.
But now they just gave vision to Cursor.
Wow.
Actually, I forgot to do myself justice on this. My favorite AI tool for building up until yesterday was Devin AI.
What is Devin AI?
Funny enough, look it up. Made by Cognition AI.
By Cognition.
Yeah.
Let me brand this down.
They get into it later. Devin
really?
AI.
Devin AI. Okay.
Mainly because they did incredible. Those guys, they base everything on virtual machines.
About that the other day. I watched the video on that.
So what is Devin AI? Why is that unique?
Software engineer.
They didn't try to make it as an assistant. They said, no, this is going to do the whole thing.
Wow.
And what Cursor had been missing up until recently was eyes. And anytime, once it finished building something,
hallucinates.
I'd have to go take the picture, screenshot of what it's, and then paste it back in.
Yes.
So it can, hey, you messed this up. Or I'd go copy the console logs of what it built, like all the errors, and then paste it.
Wow.
Now it can see it, can take its own screenshots, so it sees what it's building, and then it can also access the logs to see the errors that it's getting, and then to be able to iterate on top of that.
How much is the level of what's it called?
Devin?
No, the one that we use, Cursor. How much is the Cursor update that you use? How much is that one per month? The program you have?
Well, I just started using this. Update just came out a few days ago.
It just came out a few days ago.
Right.
And it's charging you per
Same
query?
price. Actually, no. 4.5 got cheaper. Yeah, because I've gone past the regular plans.
Wow.
At this point.
Yeah.
And
wow.
But I was gonna say, it worked like without me interrupting it or having to add any new prompts.
Really? And it didn't hallucinate. It didn't make something about not the flight logs and all that.
That's the good thing about what Cursor is doing now with the plan. It created the plan and did all the research beforehand, so that it's not that it can't hallucinate, because it probably did. There was probably some things you had to fix, but it was less likely to
hallucinate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, they copied Kiro, which is the Amazon's AI agent.
Wow.
Yeah. Amazon. Every one of these tech companies,
Amazon
by the way,
has AI
every single one of these, every single tech company is coming out with their own IDE, right?
Wow.
Basically taking VS Code and making a fork out of it, right?
Wow.
GitHub just released their own. Amazon. Replit is a different, but that's not. Anyway, because they're seeing software and SaaS is in trouble because now in one day I just built a whole app to give me this data. I've spent a week before building like my own client manager, right?
Wow.
I've built my own video calling tool.
Wow.
Right? I've built my own.
We used it. We actually utilized it when we did our conference or when we did our meeting.
Wow.
I built my own Slack.
Yeah.
All of that,
Wow.
right? I've been.
What?
This connects to earlier when I was saying every company's software or they hate the software they use.
Yeah.
So my approach is build custom software. Have your own custom software for your whole company, right?
That's smart. That's smart.
That's the mission now. But
and it works.
So your 9 to 5 now is still working with the YouTubers?
No. Now I'm product focused. So consulting is great, but right now consulting can essentially distract you from the opportunities. Some of these companies that are building some of these applications and platforms, we'd been exposed to them way before they went mainstream.
Wow.
And we could have essentially as a company pivoted and started focusing on being product first, but they save money in consulting.
Wow.
Right? But right now it's, if you see a problem, go build the product to solve that.
Are you still part of the 12 or are
actually that company is scaling and growing.
And you don't want to be a part of it anymore?
Yeah, that was summers when I started focusing more on building products and going all in on building. Because here's the reality, right?
Wow.
This is earlier in the conversation, which is there's nothing more beautiful than abundance of time and having time to build.
You don't want to be trapped.
He saw how my schedule used to be of like full-time school, full-time consulting, right? And it was nonstop.
Wow.
Right? I'm not gonna lie to you. There was days I didn't want to drive all the way to Shakopee from St. Paul, so I stuck it out, slept in my car.
Whoa!
Right? Up until 2 a.m. Okay, sleep for 2 hours, go back to it, right?
Oh my goodness!
That was that's what it takes to make a startup, man.
Wow!
That's what, especially nowadays, right? If you want to do that in a few months.
There's no more 40-hour weeks, no more. I had to realize 40 hours is bare minimum. Working, because this past month I've had to work almost 80 to 100 hours a week.
Yeah. Just to get the app moving.
Well, with everything you showed me, with creating the Bible app, with helping my parents' business, family business, and whatnot, I'm working 80 to 100.
Wow.
I realized the only thing that suffers is my mental health a little bit. But at the end of the day,
there's a sacrifice.
There's really no such thing as work-life balance. If you enjoy what your work is, you're going to be working 60 to 100 hours a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then this is the one thing that I wish more people gave Elon credit for is once I saw bro doing that, it was easy to be at a company where you knew the head honcho was working his ass off. He's sleeping in the factories. He's doing all this. He's there, right? He's calling us, and then, hey, I got 15 minutes. What y'all need? Oh, do you got this problem? No problem. I'll send this person to talk to y'all, right? So it's like, damn, I could always be doing more, right? Because I've seen somebody do it more, and then seeing them reap the benefits of that. And it's not about the finances at the end of the day. It's about, honestly, just doing something that gives you purpose.
That's purposeful.
And right now, I don't look at, like, again, we talked earlier about working and like sitting in front of my computer versus running 100 miles, biking 100 miles.
Yeah,
come on now. I'd rather sit in front of my computer all day long. And I got a nice view, right?
Exactly.
I got a nice view.
Is that still picking? It's red. Is this still picking?
It's still picking.
Okay.
It's gonna be hard to. There's some problems.
We can increase it. We can increase the volume.
I'm just saying it's gonna be a little hard because of what happened.
Okay.
It just stopped recording sometimes.
Okay, we'll fix that.
That's too bad.
So, and that's where you're moving towards. So that's what I'm trying to figure out is like, are you then saying that? When will you be done? Because you're like, okay, you started the startup with a couple of people with the consulting and stuff, and you were more like the consulting head of that, right? While somebody else was building the agents, right? So you move from that, and now you are moving towards, now you're going back to school, right?
Always been in school.
Always been in school. So now you're going to school for what exactly?
Compliance and actuarial.
And actuarial. So is that so you said like your parents are teachers?
Yeah. The relevance of that is I'm kind of frustrated with the way that everybody looks at school, because learning is not something that stops once you finish school, right? I've never stopped learning. Like I told y'all, I was studying without having classes or having a grade associated with what I'm learning. And for me, being in startup world, I've spent quite a bit of time looking at why startups fail and why businesses in general fail. And it's because the leaders don't understand law, compliance, and they're not good with cash flow. Those two main reasons, right?
I gotta take notes.
No, genuinely, right? It's like you've even seen Elon get in trouble with the law before, right?
Oh,
it's like, hey, Elon, you can't be. That's messing with or manipulating markets. Right? So from my standpoint, it's like technology and building for me is what I do, right? I'm a self-taught in the developing aspect, right? I hate self-taught because I learned from others, right, before me, right? But now it's like, well, I have this whole approach of like being more well-rounded, right? I'll never stop learning, right? I'll be surprised because I do want to get credit for the learning that I do, right? But I don't see an end to my schooling per se.
This is what's so different about you and low-key scary about you. You don't have the goal of money. Your goal isn't like,
he hasn't talked about
let me literally, he's very humble, he shies away from it. I know the podcast is heavy. I know the podcast is heavy. But look, so ask Hope the first question I asked Claude. The first question I asked Claude was, how did I get $5 million?
So when I set up
as soon as he set it up,
first question he asked it.
I want $5 million. How do I get $5 million? That was my first question. So
tell him what I told you.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
I told him you have to be a learner. You have to learn.
And that's why I'm like, yo, if I was like you and I had reached the 12 people doing the consulting and we're getting contracts from BCG, all those people, I would have been done. I'd be like, okay, how do we scale this and how do we go public? That's what my mindset would have been. But you're like, no, there's more. For me, it's just like, how do I get paid? I need to get paid.
But you have grown out of that a little bit.
Yes.
A little bit. Because he learned, he started doing things.
And as you're saying that, I want to know, what is your goal? What is your stop sign? Not like stop sign you see always going to learn, but what is like, okay, I've reached where I'm trying to go. Where is that? Do you have that grounding or where you want to land? Not really.
I didn't expect you to ask me that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you did, because it requires constant thinking about that, right? Of like, where we actually headed, right?
What's
the end is always changing, right? Simply though, I've been blessed to be early in my life, making more money than anybody around me, right? I mean, I was 19 making triple the amount that my mom did, right?
Wow.
And my family, right?
Wow.
So it's like money came early, right? I mean, I was even earlier than that, my window cleaning company made me enough that I could have just stayed on that and been good, right?
Wow.
And actually, I got into arguments with my business partner at the time because we were growing so quickly, and I'm saying, okay, we got to hire and grow, and he's like, dude, why? We have enough consistent customers. We could watch Windows for the rest of our life. We're good.
Yeah.
And that scared me. I said, you want to be watching Windows? And for the rest, that's what you're good. You're
that's
good.
Your purpose?
And the company, like, we could have been making $200K a year and been comfortable and fine, right? But for me, it's never been.
As a company or individuals?
As individuals.
Jesus.
Fine, right? Like we were 15, 16 making, good money, right?
Wow.
But then again, I sold that to him and gave that to him and said, hey, I'm going to go to Tesla and pursue this.
Wow.
This is my passion. And then to that question though, is eventually you do reach a level of comfort. And for me, unfortunately, comfort is like the antithesis of me, right? Actually, this has happened numerous times. Even when I got to Tesla, it's like, oh, I just got promoted damn near every other month. Wow. So now I'm besides being manager, there's no really other roles for me. There's no way for me else to get promoted within this. Yeah. And I kind of lost interest after that point. It's like, why am I even here then? Yeah. Right? So the school system is really designed to like tire you out of learning until you can sit at your desk and be good. They want you to be there.
Employee 2.5 or employee 101 or something like that.
And only in a few roles do you get exposure to like actually stay learning, like consulting, etc.
Yeah.
You gotta learn every day, bro.
But for me, to the faith aspect, it's always about like searching for this version of yourself that you know is out there. That if you continue to pursue, you'll get there, right? It's like, why do I continue running week after week, biking and swimming and doing all these things, right? It's because I wanted to see how far I could take it. Right. And actually, if we take it to another level, so I told you I came here in 2005. At the time, I was in 3rd grade, right? And you gotta understand, like, I came in at like the bottom of the totem pole, right? Like behind, right? Like all my teachers are like, hey, he's not doing so hot, right? Wow. I repeated 3rd grade, mind you.
You're lying.
I repeated 3rd grade because I was so far behind, right? Wow. There's a whole new system, English is my second language, all of that. So to be told, hey, you are very clearly, the bottom, right? Wow. You're repeating. We're going to hold you back because you don't know anything.
Did they make you do ESL, English as a second language?
Of course. But all of that I'm grateful for because, again, there's nothing wrong with getting that opportunity to see everything from a different take, right? And maybe that's why I'm so comfortable being back in college at whatever. But so from my standpoint, it was like, well, I never want to feel like this again, being inadequate, right? Not being able to understand. Yeah. So for me, it's always been about that. It's always been about pursuing knowledge more than anything else, right? I feel like Ty. Books. Bro, no, my gal will tell you, like, when I sleep, I'm literally talking like domains and I'm talking, but then it expands beyond technology. It's like
last week.
It expands beyond this. Like it was 2 weeks ago, I had spent the whole day digging into this economics theory called MMT, modern monetary theory, right? And it's like studying the national debt. It's like, oh, like this is so fascinating, right?
Wow.
But again, was there a grade or a quiz or an exam at the end of that? No, but it's like, wow, this is really interesting. So I've built this world model of like how the world truly is. That's like interesting, right? Because I've been exposed to so many different things. Right. And part of it is like, the times that I've gotten in trouble, it's because I got bored. So I had to find something that kept me engaged.
Kept you busy, kept your mind moving.
Exactly. Otherwise, I'd go to the devices of the world, right? Because there's no shortage of vices, right? Yeah. Education is the only pure thing. Yeah. Genuinely, the only pure thing you could do forever. Yeah. Right? And then it's about applying that to the right thing. So right now it's AI, but it didn't matter what it was going to be. I would still be in there.
Wow. I want to also, because we're getting to like 1:30, 1:40 time. So as we go towards like the wrap up, now I want to ask you, instead of just like the main things of Claude, these things, I want to get you on a philosophical level, theory level. 2 questions for you. A lot of people see AI as a danger.
Sure.
We're seeing the Sora 2. I don't know if you're into AI in that level of entertainment as well.
Of course.
So you're seeing the Sora 2, you're seeing the Jake Pauls doing all types of things, and it's like fake media and stuff like that. Sam Altman has it where you can do any video of his face, right, and doing all this, because they're trying to make it like, oh, it's normal. And then they also started by invites, like you get an invite to use Sora and stuff like that. So what do you think may or may not be the dangers of AI when it comes to video? Because now people are saying, oh, they're making CP child with AI and stuff like that now, taking anybody's likeness and like making it into AI. So what do you think is the dangers of AI in that level? And then also my second question is, if somebody, like the light switch we have here, if somebody turns it off, right? Because the government can turn off your access to using the internet. They can turn that off anytime. If somebody flips that switch and turns it off, what then? How many companies are going to just tank that same day they turn off the light switch?
Yeah.
So those two questions.
I'm glad you closed off with the latter question, because it's not an option to turn it off. The cat's out of the genie, as they say, right? For me, I have a different take on this, because first you have to understand, with any innovation, the first people to use the most innovative technologies is who? What group of people?
Government.
No. Criminals. Criminals, like you mentioned CP, right?
Yes.
Criminals will always be the first to use.
Yes.
Look at blockchain and crypto. They jumped on that.
Everyone's talking about we're going to get scammed now that we're older. They're going to send you pictures of your friends like, oh, send me $50.
Yeah.
And it's going to be scammers.
Yeah, email became available. Now you got people scamming, right?
The Nigerian prince.
Exactly.
Famous email scam.
Almost always, actually conclusive, always, the first people to embrace
criminal. I never thought about that.
The latest and greatest is criminals. So what's the answer to that? Genuinely, is we need more good people using the technologies to counteract that. That's my standpoint, because there's an opportunity there to counteract that, right? It's like there's people who use, actually, if you look at South America, the cartels use submarines to, smuggle drugs into the country, right? They're at that level, right?
What the?
But luckily, we have the good guys, the military, who's looking out for that.
Bomb them in the water.
That's crazy.
So it's almost like, hey, okay, otherwise you just have bad people. And if you look at South America, it's like they run that because, again, they have the weaponry, so they can do whatever they want, right?
Wow.
So from my standpoint, it's, well, if enough good people are using this, then they can start, doing more doing more safety things and trying to find ways to use this for the best way possible, right? Heroin and cocaine, bad things, right? But pharmaceuticals said, hey, these are chemicals. They could be used to solve something, right? Some of those are used to solve people's mental conditions, right?
Of course. My sister's a nurse. They use fentanyl in the hospitals every day.
So it's kind of that perspective of it, right? So that's my encouragement to anybody who thinks that if you think AI is dangerous, then you better go learn it and find ways to protect yourself, right? Simply speaking, right? It's yin and yang, right?
So basically, it's out, so you can't run from it. You have to approach it. You have to learn it. You need to be on top of it, basically. You got to do your own work.
And I will share the scary side of it. Yesterday, I used Cursor for one random thing. I said, here's my name, my full name, Weldon Makori, Weldon Makori, and here's I'm from Minnesota. Using all the tools available to you.
What do you know about me?
Go learn everything about me from the web.
I did that too.
I've never done that.
It's like it's more advanced. It's an advanced version of Google search.
Wow.
But it went and it found a lot.
Whoa.
It found so much.
Wow. That's the other thing too with data privacy. Are you afraid?
When I tried to do my girls, it didn't let me.
Interesting. I'm glad you tested that, because that was my next thing I was going to test. Right?
Really?
I did it on myself.
And it was fine.
And it was fine. It told me.
But when you did her name, it didn't.
I put her name in there, and it didn't let me.
So
Cursor.
So interesting though, but Cursor is closed sourced, right? Meaning you can't modify it or whatever. But if you use an open source tool, right, or you use open source models, you can do whatever you want. You can tell them to do whatever. I have a buddy I shouldn't be saying this, but anytime he gets an open source model, the first thing he tells us is like, make it meth lab. Teach me how to make it meth lab.
The worst thing. If it'll do it. Just see if it'll do it.
Exactly, and it does, right? Gives him everything he needs to know, right?
Whoa.
No limits. Zero limits.
Wow. How do you get access to open source? You have to be invited?
GitHub. It's open source. You don't need to be invited.
Open source just means, like before subscriptions, it just means you could download the software.
Oh, wow.
Right? Like you used to be able to download software.
Download it on your computer.
It's not even just GitHub. You sent me an open source website.
Yeah. It means you can just get the code.
You can just get the code,
and then you can modify however you want.
Wow.
Yeah.
So people just modify to take away the restrictions and then they use it.
Exactly.
Wow.
And with most of these AI tools, they have, it's more about the weights that, affect that, of like how much does it let you do. Yeah, that's one way to look at it.
Wow.
So but it's interesting. But to your question there of like good and bad, it's like, well, if you think you're on the good side of things, you better go learn the extent of these tools. And then if you see, hey, this is dangerous, it could do this, you better be trying to create the solution to solve that, right? And that was one thing. That was one reason I did that experiment of like, hey, just research me, see how much you could find, and the amount of things I found. And then I have it on my to-do list. Later, I'm going to tell like, hey, how do I go delete all those different things that you found? So that way that a different AI couldn't go learn that all about me, right? Or how do I add privacy to my persona, right?
That's it. So you just gave a real life example of problem solving.
Always.
You said, oh my gosh, you knew so much about me. Now I'm gonna use that same tool who knows a lot about me to delete it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do that for my girl.
That's the mindset.
I'm gonna protect my family now and go. And actually, what y'all haven't seen, ChatGPT early days, dude. I used to be able to ask it, hey, give me the email for the Best Buy CEO. It just give it to you.
Whoa!
Like you used to be able to query it and ask it for anybody's contact information.
Oh my goodness!
And it would have it.
Whoa!
And it'd give it to you. Right?
Oh my goodness!
Now that information is available if you go search on Google long enough.
But it'll take a while to find it.
Exactly. Or like exactly. Yeah. There's a little bit more friction. You gotta go search for it.
Yeah.
Right? But just me being able to say, give me the email for this person. Boom. Give me the address for this person. What the?
Oh shoot!
Right?
I don't like this person. Give me the address. That's what I'm thinking. Like, because now I'm putting my mind in the mind of a criminal.
Yeah.
This person did X, Y, and do. Oh, where are they?
Okay, that's how I got
Where do I get a gun? Where do I do this?
Criminal using cursor.
Exactly. And then use that to protect yourself.
Yeah. No, early days.
My God.
Right? One of the only reason I got exposed to like the darker side of the web is like, hey, this information's out there. If I don't know what's out there, I can't really protect myself, protect my family, the ones that I care about, right? So I went on all those sites and found my friends' credentials, where their addresses have been leaked, some socials, passwords, everything. And I would tell them, hey, I found your password. This is your password, right?
Whoa.
Here, go change your password.
Oh my goodness.
Right? So it's like, if you have access to these tools, you know this. If somebody nefarious wanted to, they could use it for
your
bad,
information.
Right? And so you got to really like be more proactive and put on yourself to like stop that from happening. And hence why risk management.
Yes.
Right. And the importance of that, right?
Yeah.
The first principle, one of the core to risk management is once you identify the risk, you got to create the systems to prevent those.
To prevent it.
Right. And if they do happen, then have something to keep them from getting worse.
Wow.
Right? That's why when you have car insurance, right? Because you can get in a car accident tomorrow. That could ruin your life, right? But now with that could indemnify you and you're good, right? Or you break your legs and they can take care of you at the hospital, right?
Wow.
So, but to conclude on your question there, it's genuinely, if you have that fear of AI being dangerous, then it's your prerogative then to really learn how to learn the limits of it, and then think about the ways that it could be used nefariously against you, and then stop that from happening.
Wow.
Right?
And that's such a good product. This is a bad way to think, but it's a good product. Fear. If you start selling a product that can go online as an agent, look for all this information about you and help you to delete it and make that a service, and you feed the fear of, oh, I have this of this, because you could just start with a quick, oh, hi, this is your consulting, find a bunch of shit about them and be like, okay, yeah, I want to buy your service because you already know all the stuff about me, you could help me out. Fear is a huge incentive for the common man.
Yeah.
Fear is greater than like a reward system. If you ever see, what's it called? Anything about psychology, where they're like working with monkeys, they're more afraid than like when you give them a treat. Fear is huge motivator, either for bad or for good.
Oh, I agree with you more. But the only thing about fear is you have to factor in probability. And that's the relevance of risk management, right? Like right now, why are your blinds closed?
I don't want people to see inside the house.
Exactly, right? But if somebody did, what could possibly happen from people being able to see? They can see. No, they know who's here now. They can know when you're home. You can get robbed because they know.
They know you
we've been watching, bro. Exactly, they can see everything, right? If I was you, by the way, tint the windows.
Really?
Order tint from Amazon. It's $20. Tint your windows. No, because that allows you to see out. Right now, you can't see out. I don't see no cameras, none of that.
Yeah.
Right? Tint your windows, bro.
Wow.
And then that way, people can't see in, but you can see out.
But you can see out. Wow.
Yeah, you can get one way.
Wow. Tinted.
Anyway. I don't know why window tinting.
No, it's nerdy.
It's all there. It's all there.
Why is it not? No, for homes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it should be like a basic.
Business. That's a business.
That's
I don't know why
business.
that's not a big thing out here.
That's
I've been
business.
holding off on doing that as a business because it's like
that
I'm too
makes
busy,
so much.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's for y'all, right?
Yeah. No, please. We'll take it.
Bless me up later, all right?
Yes, because let me make the money. Let me make the money.
And actually, I will push back on one thing, which is it might seem like I don't care about the money. Earlier on, I had money hurt me more than it helped me.
Oh.
Because I could use a lot of money right now.
Yeah, what do you mean? You just
I went from being, like having a small group of people who genuinely cared about me to all of a sudden people are seeing me riding around in $100,000 cars and being on helicopters and this, that, and the third. And then all of a sudden, right? And
now
then,
you got more friends.
Exactly. And then,
Friends.
and I didn't understand what was happening at the time, right? You just kind of like, hey, no, they really care.
They really
you
care
want
about
to
you.
believe that, right?
So you gotta learn it the hard way.
And side tangent, like I got deep into that world, right? Like, we're hosting fashion shows in Mall of America and
you said that and I was so confused. Like, what do you mean you hosting a fashion?
But it's like is that world known? Is that event's world known for being deep and authentic, right? Anyway.
Wow.
We all thought the world was ending at the time.
Oh, really?
Right? So we're just like, hey.
Why not? Ball out.
I'm like, what, am I going to die at the office? No.
Yeah, no.
I'm here.
No, oh my goodness.
But anyway, there is an importance to money, but I wanted to wait until I had the discipline for it. I needed to look myself in the mirror and be able to say, hey, I'm going to use this as an enabler, not as a detractor, as something that, worsens my quality of life, right? And I didn't want to take the shortcut of like, oh, now I have money. Now I don't have to keep learning. Now I don't have to keep getting better. And I didn't want to look myself in the mirror and then one day be not happy with myself, right? Overweight, not happy with my network, not happy with not gaining anything new knowledge-wise, right? I didn't want to get to that point. So I wanted to wait until I used it as a mechanism to, again, do the things that we care about, we speak about here, which is protect my family.
Protect your family.
Right? Build a life and inspire more people to use these tools as a way to make the world better. I will say, I went to a conference the other day, and that was it was the first business conference where I'd seen people talking about the importance of good and God.
Wow.
The importance of, hey.
God. In business, God in business. Exactly. I spent 2.5 years at St. Thomas Business School, and we ain't talk about God not one time.
Wow. When it comes down to it, I feel like God is in everything. The same way we were just talking about the Tesla. The fact that you were in Tesla, then you got this consulting, then it's like almost like a movie, and you're being set up for the next scene. You're being set up for the next season. And God is in everything. Yeah. That's why I really feel like if God is in something, it's going to be prosperous. He puts his hand into it, prosperous. You can put up with the plan, you can put the cloud, everything. No matter. If God's hand is not in it, it's not going to be successful.
And the things without God that is evil. That's the definition of evil.
Oh my goodness.
It's interesting. I spend more time in the last decade studying God from a from the educational standpoint, right? From the listen, I love literature, but I really wanted to understand how, right? And that was really important because then it really allowed me to actually just gain respect for
not even more.
Right?
Because somebody is an intellectual like you, you would think you'd be an atheist. The way you think logically, because a lot of people think logic and theology don't go hand in hand. Yeah. Or some people think if you're a scientist, you can't be a pastor. Because they're like, it doesn't go hand in hand. My perspective is that science is the study of trying to see how God formed things. Yeah. Like you're trying to study. It's like there's a goal, you're never going to reach it. But kudos to you to trying to get there. Yeah. This is how I view science.
Yeah. I laugh. I'm holding back laughter because part of it is like I'm factoring a little bit of history because literally who made the education system?
The churches.
The church. Our school was founded by Father, what's his name? I'm blanking on his name.
Isn't it the buddy folk with the statue in the middle?
Yeah, but Ireland. Yeah.
Ireland. I lived in the dang building, bro.
But it's like the school, the institution where we learned from, and now we can say, hey, if you're an intellect, then you can't believe in It's interesting.
That is.
It's like and
that's
scientists,
so contradicting.
Scientists were priests, right?
Yeah.
They were in a brotherhood. Actually, I prayed about the priesthood for a while.
Oh wow.
A while back. Again, why? Because once you understand this, it's like, hey, this is where the information is. And that's my priority. Anyway, lucky I have a girl. Right?
No, of course.
If she acts wrong one day, the judge is gonna come call it.
So since we've had you, this is like our first official like person interview. Like this is our first official interview, right?
It's just been us two stuck in.
And
right?
one thing I really like is a podcast called Diary of a CEO. Have you heard of it?
Of course.
Williams. Exactly. Where he has a bunch of CEOs come and talk to him, and then he has a diary where they ask a question for the next comer. So I would like for us to start a tradition in this podcast, right? And I want to steal that idea because it's such a good idea. Shout out to Diary of a CEO. Go watch him. Fantastic interviewer. What is a question that you would like to ask the next person who comes on the podcast? And then after you think of that question, I want you to answer it yourself.
The answering it, funny enough, I felt like we've answered that in the course of this conversation. But the specific question is that I never feel is asked enough, at least to these leaders, is specifically talking about their upbringing and what they think caused their abilities, right? What caused them to be who they are, right? I didn't grow up with a dad per se, right? My parents were split, so I didn't get, I wasn't living with my dad.
Were both of them here in the U.S.?
Of course, but I wasn't exposed to him per se, right? I always took that as like a sour thing until I realized the opportunity that I had from that was instead of just having one man that I went to who was like my guide, I had numerous men who stepped in that role for me, who have times been that leader in my life, right, and had the answers to try to help me find those answers, right?
People say that.
Yeah. So it's things of that nature, right? Where like I used to, just like I was sitting like this, I'd sit down for 3-4 hours with my youth minister at my church, who was a theologian, right, and he studied. Like he had his master's in philosophy and theology, and I would just hit him with like dumb questions like, hey, like,
why is this?
Is God a woman? What's up? Why are they talking about this?
Exactly.
Hey, what's relativism? What's this and that? And just having somebody who like would genuinely take the time, and I'm open to his answers because I haven't been taught this other notion. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, my mom taught me a lot, but she served a role, right, which was make sure I was healthy, make sure I was consistent.
Well-fed,
exactly.
The basics.
And it wasn't. We weren't having intellectual conversations. That was not that's not the relationship we had.
Yeah.
Although she was much capable of it, right? But it's things of that nature that I can point to in my life, right?
You never felt like you were love deficient. You felt like you were loved as much as you.
Oh, I had a community around me, man. I am a community.
I love
right?
that.
It's interesting because the moment that I start being separate from my community is when life's not going well.
Wow.
Right? And the moment that I'm surrounded by community, I was raised by the community, right? Yeah. So you can't be in denial of the thing that nourished you, right?
The devil loves to silo you. Be by yourself. Yeah.
Completely. And I feel that's happening more and more right now, right? Where more people are isolated, right? This is rare. It's rare to come for a few hours and sit and talk, right? At least to most right people, now. Especially if they're sitting on the computer.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, go make more friends. Go talk to people, right? And I'm grateful for that because, again, if I didn't learn, I was an introvert. Like my first few years, right? And only I said, I can't do this. So I found the guy who was the most extroverted, Jack Bostad. I said, hey bro, you're the most outgoing guy at the school, so you and I are friends now. Literally, that's what I did.
Wow.
Right? And then he taught me the way. He taught me how to connect with people and interact and be social and right? So the next few folks y'all bring on, I think it's more important before you ask their thoughts on whatever it is, the current hot take. It's there's correlations, right? Like I learned from Elon just from listening to his story, reading his book. He was one of my father figures, per se, right? And I was open to his background, right? And I seen, I can relate to that. I didn't grow up with
African
people
immigrant.
being nice.
Right.
Damn.
You probably be talking, right?
Like I didn't grow up with people being nice to me. I also like reading. I also like diving deep into a subject. I also have this fascination with all these different subjects. You know, I'm not doing it for the money, but you need the money in order to
do it.
To do, yeah.
Right, and to solve bigger problems. Shamant, I forget his name, one of the Facebook founders. He's the one who made me realize, like, dude, if you think you're a good person and you want to solve a problem, get the capital. Wow. Get the resources. That will enable you to solve that problem at scale. Yeah. Right? You can't solve that problem with limited resources. You can't. And if you don't solve it, the problem's going to get worse. Yeah. So it's like, you better go do something about it, right? Yeah. And right now is that time. We're seeing more people step up to that. So it's just seeing if more people rise to the occasion of leaving the comfort. Yeah, so it's more important than ever to leave comfort for the challenge of life, right? Yeah. Because comfort leads you to not really feel much of anything at the end of the day, right? And you're in denial with yourself if you're not saying, hey, I'm comfortable, but I'm not happy, I'm not fulfilled, right? Yeah.
So your question is about leadership. What is the leadership? Yeah, okay. It is about leadership. So the next person we should ask about, how do they think leadership should go, or what's the question?
No, how their upbringing affected who they are now, their skill set, their motivation, the reason why they do what they do. Because now more than ever, there's quite a number of people who are young who don't feel like they know how to end up in these roles. A lot of people want to be successful, but they're like, how do I end up there?
How do I get there?
And I only know half the things I do is because when I was on YouTube and I was online, I just watched videos on these guys, right? So I'm blessed to have spent my time there and not just scroll it just to scroll, right?
Wow. Hope you want to close this out.
Close it off. I would just want to leave you guys with one of my favorite things Weldon has ever told me. We were sitting at his office, we were just talking, and I was bringing an idea up to him. And I was like, man, I don't think this is scalable. I don't think people actually want this. I don't think people actually... But then he made me realize that at the end of the day, what you think is normal is not normal for those around you, right? Those people who just don't have certain software, people who just don't have certain skill sets and whatnot. So honestly, AI has allowed us to create things that we could never create. I'm working on a Bible app. I've been able to create that, hopefully testing it soon, right? Creating apps, creating websites, right? Creating things that we will utilize. So like Weldon stated, AI, for those who think it's scary, figure out why it's scary, then fix the problem. Thank you so much. This is Whole Lotta Podcast. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much. This has been your host, Ebenezer Ojo.
Hope out of bio.
And our beautiful guest.
Actually, Weldon.
Weldon.
Wait, shout out your company, bruh.
Everjust.org.
Evertrust.org.
Everjust, dude.
Yeah, Everjust. We'll talk about that next time on the sequel. What this is.
No, definitely. We need a sequel. We need a sequel for sure.
We'll put the link in the comment section.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
See ya.
Cool.
Man, you are so...
No, thank you, brother.
You are such a unique individual. You are such a unique